download the new Firefox. I can't because then the podcast doesn't work. Also, Nikki Hill's not here. So I'll talk about it. Nikki Hill, so I look at my body all the time and I'm like, look at this skeletal freak. And he walks in the podcast room the other week and he's like, oh, your head. I can see your veins. I'm like, I know. I hate it too. Why you got to point it out? I turn on the camera and I'm looking at it now, old wrinkled raisin brain. It's going to be a great podcast, everybody.
Wait. So are the veins visible now because you've lost the weight?
Yes.
Really?
I'm sorry to laugh.
Did you have
no, laugh. It's funny.
Did you have like fat deposits in your head or something? I don't know how to this.
There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing wrong with him.
Yeah.
It's something that Nikki Hill said.
No, I mean, I'm not.
Nikki Hill, the most body self-conscious person
you will
ever meet.
No, I'm not mad at him. I thought it was funny. It's a fact though. Like, you know what? I know the show hasn't started yet, but it's a fact that when you are heavy, like you don't look as vascular because you got more fat. And now that I'll look at my hands.
Is that what I sound like?
It grosses me out.
Look at the skeletal freak.
I hate it. I hate it so much. But it's healthier. So what are you gonna do?
Well, I'm glad you see the benefits.
Yes, I know the benefits outweigh the other crap that drives me nuts. So what are you gonna do? Sorry, I don't know. Deux and I were talking about Zelda, and I forgot to set up the show. Mm-hmm. All right, I think I'm ready.
There's nothing else to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast Webisode 874, the Stonjourner Podcast. I think Stonjourner. MomBrain, you want to tell us about Stonjourner, please? Stonjourner.
Stonjourner E.T.
Kufu the mummy says, MomBrain, could you tell us a bit about wrinkled raisin brain? I sure could. Stonjourner. The elemental composition of the rocks that form Stonjourner's body were found to match the bedrock of a land far away from this Pokemon's habitat. 8 feet tall, 1,146 pounds. Male and female. Category is Big Rock. And abilities include Power Spot. Just being next to the Pokemon powers up moves.
Thanks, MomBrain. I appreciate it.
Sure thing.
MomBrain, very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
When you plugged in the iPad, did you notice what the battery level was at?
Couldn't tell you.
Okay. I don't think you plugged in the iPad. I'm pretty sure you plugged it into like the case slot where the charger is, and you went up over the iPad because the iPad was at 13%.
Sorry, everybody.
So we have our speaker today, and it's not plugged in like it usually is, so it might die at some point. But the sounds will still work for the listeners. We just won't be able to hear them. So that's that. Hi, MomBrain. MomBrain's here.
Sure am.
Kirby's here.
Hey, everybody.
Deu's here.
Woo-hoo.
As I said, no Nikki Hill today, or I guess if you're an audio listener only, I mentioned that he wouldn't be here before the show started. So no Nikki Hill, but we got
Nikki Hill, we speak your name.
The one, the only, Josh Grobot. How are you doing, my friend?
A big hello to my fans.
And there's millions of them across the world. Just as there are millions of fans.
Really great story.
Oh, well, it's the truth, Josh. Also with millions of fans, George, how are you doing this weekend?
Star of the show.
Oh, okay.
Buongiorno.
Sorry about that, George. George, I saw there's a question coming up about you and Josh and your relationship. I think it'll be next week. So just giving you a heads up on that one because I don't know if you're going to want to talk about it. It might be a sensitive topic, but it's coming.
That subscribe button.
Oh, it's going to be juicy.
Simon and Garfunkel had their problems as well.
Going to be juicy like a lime. How's everybody doing? Oh, let me do hello to the Discord. I don't know. This is it. Zelda is life. I've forgotten how to do everything. I forgot to set up anything. There we go. Right.
Zelda is life.
Hello, Kufu the Mummy and Highly and Thomas. Steve We're in IRP. No blades, no bows. Rhett Souza, Sneaker Hacks, 8-Bit Lego, Giant Reggie, William George, whoever else we got in here joining us. Hi, Drake. Zikamudo, Wolfric, good to see everybody. Lovely to have you around. Thank you. Hello, Anastasia Beaverhausen. Thanks for spending some time either taking a break from Zelda and joining us, or playing while you're listening, because you're multi-talented and we appreciate that. Kufu to Mommy says, I'm a proud Josh fan. Yeah, be a proud Josh fan. I'm proud to be a friend and fan of
A
Josh.
big hello to my fans.
There you go. That's what happens. Highland Duff says,
Shout out to my bros.
the GoNintendo Podcast is my main contact with the outside world since Zelda release. Not exaggerating. Yeah, I think, well, at least I won't speak for everybody else here, but I will speak for myself and do. I think that's very much the case for us as well. Our main point of contact is movie night and this, and that's it. We've just
If
been
it wasn't
Zelda-ing.
for this, I would never leave the house.
Well, I feel like we're in good company because a lot of people are doing that. Sneaker Hack says, if I didn't have a job, I'd be in the same boat. These damn jobs. Your job is to save Hyrule or wander around in Hyrule and do whatever you want. Eventually save it, but you don't have to do that right away. Yes,
Yeah.
Kirby?
I was going to say, yeah, if you want, you can just wander around and crucify Koroks and whatever you want.
Hi, Tony De La Mancha.
The 8-bit Lego's house sitting, and it looks like a corgi, a donkey, another dog, and a cat. Beautiful.
Giant Reggie says, I go outside and see hills and wonder if there's a shrine on the other side. I can't recall what it was exactly, but something did happen to me where I had a moment in real life where I thought of Zelda. I looked at something, I was like, oh, if it was Zelda, and I was like, oh no, it's happening to me. So I'm there. That's the mindset I'm in. Just can't get enough.
Better with Zelda than with like GTA. I got so into GTA 5 when that came out.
I was
that
killing people in real life.
I was like stealing cars and like crashing into stuff, and I'd hate to sit in traffic, so I just drive on the sidewalk.
Hi, Solmaster Link. Good to see you. We will talk more about our time with Zelda, but we're going to save it for the regular portion of the show today. We're going to go through all the usual stuff first. And speaking of usual stuff, we have
Speak of it.
Well, you know what? We do have something Zelda related to talk about, but we'll go with this one first. Many people have reached out through various methods to share their concern for you, Deux, in your hand. They wanted to make sure you're doing well and let me know that they've been there, and they hope things have bettered. People want an update. How's the hand doing?
It's doing better. I still I have a new hand brace that came in the mail last week, and I've been wearing that when I play. It's been really, really good. Every once in a while I still have some pain, but the brace has really, really been helping. I haven't I haven't been able to step away from video games clearly, obviously. It was just the absolute worst time for this to happen.
That's not possible.
But yes, but instead of having to step away, I just doubled down and wore two braces. I started wearing the other one on my left hand.
Did you really?
Yeah, only when I play though. That one, the left hand's pretty good, except when I play. But yeah, you should see me. I look all jacked up when I'm playing. I'm like really in the game, and
My gamer gear.
yeah, I don't know. I think the neighbors are starting to think there's something wrong with my wrists. They're like, what's wrong with this guy's wrists?
Yeah,
No
they
one
don't
said
worry. They probably think you're masturbating a lot, not playing video games. So you're
Think.
fine.
I know I
Oh.
should have gotten curtains, but
I'm proud of who I am. Well, PMB sent me a special message, and they say, a suggestion for Deux from another gamer who is aging. LOL. I recently got a controller that has a turbo function and buttons on the underside. Instead of pressing the A button a million times to pick up items, I can just hold it.
Cool.
And the game acts like I'm pressing it over and over. Total life/thumb saver, LOL. Also, having additional mappable buttons underneath means I have to move my thumbs off the sticks less often. So there's plenty of those. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. There's plenty of those controllers to look into with buttons underneath and mappable, reprogrammable turbo buttons. So if you wanted to aid your situation a little bit more and prevent injury in the future, you could potentially do that.
It would be nice. I was thinking about that while I was playing Tears of the Kingdom, because you have to press the button to pick up everything. And it would be nice to have an accessibility option if you wanted to just like walk close to these things and pick them up. I mean, I get that, sometimes if it's a weapon or whatever, it's not always going to be what you want to pick up. But when you have to press the A button to pick up rupees, there's a problem. You know what I mean? Like, can I just walk over a rupee like in the old days?
I keep doing that by mistake.
What are the chances you don't want to pick up a rupee? Yeah, you can.
See,
walk
that's
over
the
if
one.
you're not.
Yeah, like, okay, maybe I don't want the monster guts, even though I do. But like
Oh,
the
I do.
rupees, who the heck doesn't want the rupees?
Yeah, I mean, I guess like if
Is that
you
a
have
speedrunner thing
a
or
full
something?
wallet or something, you'd be like, I'm not going to run over because I can't pick them up anyway. But
Oh yeah, and you know why it's extra annoying? It's because usually find them under a rock, and then I'm like, I gotta like to pick up the rupee, I have to put down the rock, and it's just like too many extra steps.
Yeah.
just put the rock back down on the rupees and let somebody else take them. Double it and give it to the next person.
Oh, also, this is something I have like a lot of bad habits that probably are
Link's been smoking again, hasn't he?
No, I have. I'm sorry. I have a lot of bad habits that are probably the result of my time playing Breath of the Wild. I'm constantly picking up rocks, not thinking that like the only reason they're there is so that I can like fuse them to something else.
Yes.
But I'm like, there's got to be a Korok under this one.
Oh yeah.
Like, and of course there isn't, and I just keep doing it like a dumbass.
For me, if there's any symmetrical ones, that's definitely going to have a Korok or in any way, if it's symmetrical or if it looks like it's somewhere where it could be like
it's funny you say that. I found a rock formation last night that I was like, this is definitely a Korok, and I placed a rock where I thought it should go and nothing happened. So I put a stamp on the map because I was like, something's going on here and I don't know what it is, but I'll be back. I looked at it and like I looked down from above and I was like, something is up, and I just couldn't. I didn't know. It didn't click for me. So
well, it could just be that the rock
return.
is like an inch too far out of the way.
I tried that. I moved it around in a spot
Okay.
I thought it should have gone and nothing happened. So I'm missing something, but I'll get back there and figure it out later. But
well, that was nice of people to ask about my wrist. Quitting or stopping or slowing down on video games was not an option. So I just powered through it with the wrist brace and
now you are a real
some
hero.
Aleve. So thank you very much for asking.
PC's here. She says, finally pulled myself out of Hyrule long enough to turn the pod on. Thanks for joining us. PC is one of those people who's doing the story. So
Isn't that cute?
I mean, I'm doing a little of that too.
Deux and I are no story, and if story happens, it's by accident. Obviously, we will do the story, but once we've exhausted everything else. So.
Oh, well, then you'll probably never do the story.
Yeah, all right.
I'll get there, but
I've been hanging out with the Zoras a lot. I'll just say that.
I haven't even seen them.
Right?
Nope, I haven't. I've been to where the Rhode village is. I've been there just like in passing, and they're like, we're so cold, we need food. And I'm like, well,
I'm outta
hope
here.
you find it.
See you in a month.
The
Yeah.
little kids are like, we're so lonely.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I'll get to you eventually.
I think I almost got to the Rhode village, and then I just like turned around. I was like, it's too cold here.
Yeah.
Hi, Rosemary the farmer. The only reason I was there is because I had stuff that kept me warm enough. I was like, I was trying to get to a tower and something else. So I was like, I'll wander around, and the village was there, and I needed to go literally past the village to get to the thing I wanted to get to. So I just walked through, and there was a shop, and I was like, is there anything I want? No. And then the kids are like, we'll sing you the song of our people. And
Shut
I was
up,
like, you
kid.
do that. Goodbye. They're singing, and I'm walking away.
And that's something else that's kind of annoying. Like even within our small group of friends, we have to like be careful of spoilers because like none of us are playing the game in the same way.
Yeah.
I don't remember if I said hi to Rosemary the farmer. I'm sorry. I'm saying hello, Jesus. Jesus, great name. Heyzeus. Jesus. Yes,
From,
I was
Die
saying to
Hard
do
with a
today.
Vengeance.
My mom sent me a voice note, and she was like, "Hey, I'm in the blank with the blank, and how do you get the blank?" Because she's doing story apparently, and I was like, "Mom, I told you I'm not doing story. I don't know
Wrong.
what you're talking about." I said, "You're either gonna have to look it up online or talk to Nintendo because she's playing as well, but she's doing stories." So I was like, I can't help you. I really don't know what you're talking about. Jesus, by the way, posted a great picture. It's a newspaper article that is not real, but I wish it were real. It says, local Japanese man makes lives of millions worthwhile again. And it's a picture of Al Newman. A Newman.
Aw.
He did it. He did it, people. PC says, I just want to point out that RMC loves to preach everyone can enjoy games how they want and then shames me for playing Tears of the Kingdom for how I
What
want.
rules? you sons of
I'm
bitches?
teasing you. I'm needling you. You can play however you want. If you want to enjoy the story, you go right ahead. I'm just saying I will enjoy the story years from now at some point.
She's playing it the way I think most people would. So
That's a great question. I don't know if that's what people are doing, or I mean, what more people are doing. I'm curious.
I guess if you're like more, if you're more of a hardcore Zelda fan, you'd probably be just like, I don't know, trying to find ways to break the game or something.
My mom is here. My mom sent me a direct message to say, "Hi, honey." She sent it right at 3:30. So, hi, Mom. I was talking about you spoiling the game for me, but it's okay, Mom, because as MomBrain will attest to, you're a spoiler, even when you try not to spoil.
I don't think she's ever spoiled anything for me.
That book for you.
Yep.
And
also, there was some movie where it wasn't spoiled for me because I saw it already. I forget who she was talking to, but I was like, "Mom, don't spoil." And she's like, I'm not gonna. And then she's like, then when and she said the end, and I was like, how do you think the end is not a spoiler? She's like, oh, I didn't think of it that way.
Oh, was this when she ruined The Fault in Our Stars for you or something?
That's one of them. My mom came into the chat to say, I love Tears of the Kingdom, and then 2 seconds later her next message says, shoot me now.
Oh, okay.
So enjoy the Discord with my mom. I love you. It's just funny how that happens. You're a sharer, as we said. You're not a spoiler. You're a sharer. You're just excited to share your adventures through movies and TV shows and games and all that. Mom, I hope you got unstuck at that part you were stuck at, because like I said, I can't help you.
I love Tears of the Kingdom. By the way, Zelda dies.
Oh, that's a spoiler? I should do a poll on Twitter and ask, are people doing story first, or are they exploring first? I'd be curious. Mom, I'm only joking. It's fine.
I'm trying to do like an equal amount of both.
Yeah, I'm doing I'm not doing any story. I got the paraglider and that was it. I stopped. So everything else has been exploration in the sky and in Hyrule and underground. I'm all about it. And I'll have my main goal is to blow up and then pretend like I don't know nobody.
Wow,
that's an old vine for you. Old vine. My main goal is to go to the towers in Hyrule and light them up. And I've gotten so sidetracked doing that I've only just now lit up half the towers in Hyrule. So I've only done the top half of the map. Now I'll be making my way downwards, and I'm sure it'll be another 40 hours of just wandering around down there. So, and then who knows what'll happen. Giant Reggie says, I do like 75% exploration and 25% story. Drake says, I'm filling out the map and exploring. My goal today was doing side quests. My goal is just, I think you and I are exactly the same. We just go where the land takes us, and we see something in the distance, we go for it.
I've stopped trying to make a plan because I get sidetracked so easily. Like, I was down in the depths 2 days ago and I started playing, and I was like, let me do this one light thing, and then I've got a bunch of stuff in the sky I want to do. And the entire day I stayed in the depths, and I couldn't get out of it because every time I got to a new light thing, there was another one, or there was something else I wanted to explore. There's stuff down there that I don't even want to, I don't dare tell you. But so I stopped making a plan because I was like, you know what? I'm going to explore until I feel like doing a story mission. And I haven't felt any story pulls yet.
Well, this is great. Anastasia Beaver has on this topic, says, also, for your information, if you care, save the memories quest for late because it ends in something huge. I regret doing it so early. So there you go. That's a great one.
Wait, is that the
I don't even know
quest
what the
with the geoglyphs?
It just says, they specifically said the memories quest. So I don't know what the name is, but there you go. Steve Irwin, I also love that old Twitter account that my mom doesn't use anymore because I don't know. I don't think she's got the login or anything, but I followed that as well. Yes, geoglyphs is the quest. There you go. So
okay.
Don't do it if you're trying to stay away from story spoilers, apparently, because it's got something huge in it. So avoid at all costs for those who are just exploring. The other thing I want to talk about was Zelda related, so we might as well continue on here. I don't know if anybody else has been seeing this or noticing this, but Tears of the Kingdom is blowing people's minds, not from a perspective of there's so much stuff to do, but from a perspective of how does this game exist? I've seen major publications, and I don't mean like game outlets. I mean like I don't want to name specific outlets because I'm sure I'll get it wrong, but I've seen like, newspaper or news organizations, outlets that you all would know by name, that have put together articles that are like, Tears of the Kingdom shouldn't exist. How did it, like, how was it made? How is this game possible? How it blah blah blah. I can't explain how many people and outlets I've seen talking about how this game is like incomprehensible from a development standpoint, because they're talking about how huge the game is. Breath of the Wild was huge. This is even bigger. And then they're talking about the intricate systems that are working in this game all together. And they're talking about how it's on the Switch, the least powered system that's out there right now. And it's just, I saw a developer come up on TikTok and he's like, this game has been keeping me awake at night because I cannot fathom how this game is made. They're like, developers are making games on systems like PS5, which is so much more powerful, and their games don't have anything or even one of the systems that Tears of the Kingdom has, and their games struggle to achieve frame rates or resolutions or to have these things work as intended. Yet Tears of the Kingdom has all this stuff on the Switch, and it works. They're like, if you added any game that had, let's say, realistic physics to the degree that this does, it would be something to praise. But then you take that and you add in the fusing, where you fuse any weapon with anything and it does something most of the time. Then you take in the building mechanic, and that has to work in tandem with the physics mechanic. You're building the steering column and two fans, or a rocket that launches into the air. Like, all these things are playing together with each other. And then on top of all that, the game is constantly watching what you're doing because you have recall. And it can not only, it rewinds what you did the way you did it. Like, all the one developer in particular was like, how are all these things working together and nothing's breaking? Like, this should be tearing at the seams and the game is working. And again,
And it runs
on the
well.
Switch's hardware, they're like, this hardware is akin to like a cell phone from like 8 years ago. Like, how is this possible? It's just the I've seen articles that are like, this is the game that has made me realize graphics don't matter. Like, I've been chasing graphics, and this is I've been a fool because this is proving, and not that Breath or Tears of the Kingdom isn't a nice looking game. It's a nice looking game, but it's not the most sophisticated visually. But they've been chasing better visuals and fancy graphics and all that, and now for whatever reason, Tears of the Kingdom is the game where they're like, oh my god, why have I been doing that? That's not how I should approach games. So this is Tears of the Kingdom appears to be the game that is like snapping a lot of people out of their mindsets of like, more powerful hardware makes better games, and more impressive visuals make for a better experience. And I'm not saying nicer visuals aren't nice or anything like that, but nice visuals don't make a game great. They make a game pretty to look at maybe, but the game could still be crap to play. And I think people are finally starting to notice, at least some of them anyway, where it's like, oh my God, all this stuff about this next gen hardware will allow us to do things we've never been able to do before in ways that were not possible thanks to due to previous hardware limitations. People are realizing, wait a minute, that's all just garbage. Like, that's just it's today's blast processing. It's just selling points that don't really mean anything because it's not true. Within obviously there's going to be limitations visually, but from a gameplay perspective and a mechanics perspective, yes, there's only so much you can do with limited computing power. But what you can do with that has never been fully explored because developers move on and think they can't do it or aren't talented enough to do it or don't know all the pieces to make everything work. Because just the sheer scope of Tears of the Kingdom alone, you would be like, this, it couldn't run on the Switch, and yet it does. And all these things together, developers are just freaking out because they can't figure out how Nintendo made this work, and now they're actively analyzing the game to try to come to some understanding about how all these things play together and don't break the game in any way. And they're doing it on hardware that is, from a technological standpoint, ancient. So I'm really enjoying seeing this stuff because I'm happy people are getting taken out of that mindset, at least some people, where they see new hardware means better games, means things we can't do before. That's not true. It's never been true. And it's a law of diminishing returns. When we got to the Xbox 360 generation, we'll say Xbox 360, PS3 onwards, there's only so much more you can do. And it's what really you can do with games is limited by the developers' talents and their imaginations rather than the hardware of the system. And that's shorthand for when a developer's like, oh, it's not possible on the system. It's shorthand for it's not worth the time, or we don't have the manpower, or we don't know how to do it now. You have something like Tears of the Kingdom where it's like, hey, we're doing this on this thing. Why can't you guys do this on?
It's like when Fishman came out on Dreamcast, right? Huge.
Fishman. Yeah.
Was that what it's called? It's not.
Half of that's right.
Man's right.
Oh,
Man is
Seaman?
right. Seaman. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
how did I not forget? How did I not remember
It took me
that?
a few
All right.
seconds to remember.
I just wanted to hear you.
But
say
I've
it.
seen everything.
Yeah, it's
Remember, it's Seaman.
this isn't me saying like we don't need next gen systems or poo-pooing on what developers are achieving on those systems, especially from a visual standpoint. But when you hear all that stuff about companies and developers saying we can do things never before possible,
That's just lip service.
yeah, it's
I mean,
maybe to
it's-
not the same visual fidelity. Certainly, I'll agree with that. But outside of that,
Yeah.
mechanics and gameplay, it's not true. You were going to say something? I'm sorry, dude.
No, I was just. I don't know. I feel like you can take Nintendo games for granted because they're always so perfect. I don't want like smooth, great to play. The whole package is just always so like sanded down perfectly, whereas any other game, like you're not always expecting to have the smoothest experience the whole way through. But with Nintendo, always 100% of the time, usually it's like flawlessly done, at least from a presentation standpoint. And I think a lot of people, like I said, take it for granted because it's easy when you're playing it to just be like, oh, this is so perfect that you don't even think about the work that went into it. With something like Tears of the Kingdom, it does have that level of quality, but because it's kind of a free-for-all of like your imagination really holds the key to all of this. I think a lot of people are starting to look at it like, holy cow, it's they're bringing themselves into the experience and making it's taking on a bigger sense of self than if it were just like a Mario game that was perfectly done,
Yeah.
And plus, I could be talking out my butt as I usually do, but like as we get older, there's a lot of younger people that are, becoming fans of video games. And I think, they might have grown up on stuff more akin to like Minecraft, where they use their brain a lot more to like create interesting things in games. Whereas I was just like, let me jump, let me run in a game, so they're probably seeing that and maybe they never appreciated a Zelda before. And now they're like, holy cow, Nintendo really does have like, something that I can relate to. Or so again, that might be me talking out my butt, but I feel like younger gamers can be, into that more creative type of a game. And again, that's BS. Anyone could like that kind of game, but
I mean, you certainly see kids are really into stuff like Minecraft and Roblox, which are both very creative and allow for creation. So it's certainly a trend with children and playing video games. They like a lot of those games, or those two in particular. It's not like there are a lot of those kind of games, but yeah, there's certainly like a building component and an experimental component to Tears of the Kingdom as well. Not as free in some ways as Minecraft and Roblox are, obviously, but yeah, there's a line running through those games where I'm sure, yes, that some kids will see that kind of stuff and be intrigued by it. Yeah, it's been a real eye opener for a lot of people, developers and players, and just the industry in general, because it's an amazing achievement for any game developer. But there's so many ways in which it is an amazing achievement that makes it that much more unbelievable. Like I said, specifically the hardware. Plus, to be fair, Nintendo,
Unbelievable.
not really known as the open world game developer, and they made one open world game in Breath of the Wild that was, critically lauded, and the biggest Zelda of all time, and then they somehow topped that with Tears of the Kingdom. So, I mean, that's when you have developers who focus on open world games and that's all they ever make, or the majority of what they make, say like Ubisoft or something like that, and then you have Nintendo come along and be like, oh well, here's our try, and you're like, what have we been doing? Like what the difference in open worlds between like an Assassin's Creed or a Far Cry versus a Tears of the Kingdom or a Breath of the Wild, like it's night and day. Like the sense of exploration in Tears of the Kingdom is so much higher than what you would get from those games. You could speak on it more because you've played those games, but I feel like those games are more like you have your side quests, and the open world is just what you have to go through to get to them. Whereas in Tears of the Kingdom, the open world, you're excited to go through because you're like, what's out here? What am I going to happen upon?
In those games like Far Cry and Assassin's Creed, like you said, there's these side quests, and that's kind of where the exploration is kind of comes from. It's like, oh, there's a part on the map, a dot on the map for this side quest across the way. I'll explore on my way, and that's one way to do it. But with, like you were saying, with Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, yeah, you have side quests, but that's not how you're exploring. You're exploring by opening your eyes and looking around. It feels so natural that the world around you is like pulling your curiosity in certain directions without you looking at any of the menu screens at all. Like you don't even know what your next mission is because there's just a feast for the eyes where you want to go explore. And when you get there, then there's a whole nother land, view or something that you get. And it just keeps going and going. And with the depths and the sky and just how much this feels like a brand new Zelda, and yet every Zelda that's ever come before it, it's just a magical experience for me.
I don't know how that's the needle that's been threaded. That's the most mind blowing to me. To take something like this and offer a Zelda experience that's so different from what traditional Zelda is, yet still retain what makes Zelda Zelda. Like, it's not like this isn't a Zelda game. It's like this is very much a Zelda game, but it's also all these other things together that I can't even fathom how they've managed to do that. Because I would, how many times has a Zelda franchise reimagines itself and still retains what it is about Zelda while doing something completely different, like Ocarina of Time. And
well, I mean, even those, like the older Zelda games, maybe not on the scale of Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild, but those older games also kind of like encouraged exploration. Like, just to give one example, I was thinking of the guy who lives under the bridge in Link to the Past.
Yes.
When once you get the flippers.
Yeah.
And that's why, like the newer games still, they still feel like Zelda games.
I mean, like the original Legend of Zelda was definitely about exploration, and you're right. There's exploration to all those games, and an Ocarina of Time just set up a new framework for that kind of stuff, and we rode with that for a few years, and then now we have our next like direction for Zelda games in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and I'm sure we'll have a couple more like that, and then Nintendo will do something different for Zelda, and we'll see what happens then.
Yeah, so. And I mean, also those older games had like little like optional bonus games like fishing in Ocarina of Time and stuff like that.
Or in Tears of the Kingdom, you just go in water and grab the fish.
Yeah, pretty much.
I do that all the time.
You go noodling.
That's right. Link is a big noodler.
I saw somebody on TikTok, somebody built a boat and then put one of those like electricity emitter things that shoots electricity out of the front of it.
Yes.
And then just like sailed it, and like all the fish would rise to the surface dead because of the electricity. It was crazy.
Hi, Joe. I don't know if I said hi to Joe. Hi, Joe Shabadoo. I have been walking around with one of the magic staffs with like a amber on it, or not amber, whatever the yellow one is. and I've just
Oh,
been
is that
shocked.
the topaz.
Yes, Topaz. I've just been shocking enemies all the time to make them
Nice.
drop their weapons, and then I go pick them up so they can't use them, and then they start throwing rocks at you and stuff.
I was for the longest time I was like having trouble fighting enemies because my weapons were so weak, and I was fusing stuff, but not with like the monster horns. And apparently, like the
Yes.
horns is where it's at. So there's a couple of horns
Yeah.
that you can fuse, and now I don't have any problems because all my weapons.
I
are
was
fused
fusing
nicely.
stuff to stones and all that for a while, and then I started doing all the, the stuff the bokoblins drop or whoever drops, and yes, that's obviously much better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I made like a weapon, I guess it was a spear out of a talus heart.
Uh-huh.
Have either of you done that yet?
Yep,
Okay.
yep. I have one right now. I forget what I've attached to, but I've attached a few of the hearts to, sturdy spears or sturdy clubs or whatever. And I've been running with those things for a while, and they make a big difference. So, but yeah, like anytime I see a big enemy, I'm like, I want to kill it because I want to get what it drops so I can make something stronger. So, early on my weapons were, I don't mind the weapons break.
Well, it's funny that like the mining shouldn't be fun, but I find it very addictive. But
I have
always-
one weapon that I have that I only use for breaking rocks, and I've had it for a long time now, just because there's always rocks to break to get stuff. So, but it's another one of those fusions. It's just like a basic sturdy club with whatever.
Yeah, maybe I got to find
something
like
strong on it.
sturdier things to attach rocks to.
That does make even like some rusted sword or something will last a considerable amount of time as long as you have one of the stronger bokoblin drops on it. I don't have hi Backseat Studios. Good to see you. I don't have too many weapons that are crappy. Some of them I'll just have, I'll keep random crappy stuff in my inventory just for little enemies because I don't need to waste the good stuff on them. But my weapons don't break all that often. It's not really a problem. And I've picked up so much stuff that, somebody can drop something and I can attach a piece to it and it'll last me for a while. So I'm good. But I'm not ready to fight Lionel's yet. Because
Me neither.
Me either.
I can still
took me
one
so
shot
long.
me, so
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no.
It took me so long to beat one in Breath of the Wild.
I've mounted them a few times, but I don't have the stamina to stay on, and I don't have the food to eat to keep the stamina up. But they've bucked me off, and I'll flip off backwards with my paraglider. I'm like, that's awesome, and then he'll shoot me in the air, and I'm dead. And I'm like, oh well. So I tried fighting one last night a few times, and I was like, no, I'm not ready. Not there yet. I hit him with the electric rod to make him drop his stuff, and he's got protection for that. So never mind.
Son of a bitch.
But yes, it's one of the greatest games ever made, and I don't think that's hyperbole. So we're all having a great time. But other stuff is happening in the world of games, MomBrain. That's enough from you. By the way, MomBrain doesn't talk about it because she's not playing it. So
I'm only not playing because it's the end of the school year and I'm taking grad classes and I don't
Yeah, I heard excuses for Breath of the Wild as well.
have the time to give it. Also, my allergies are so bad
I know.
right now.
I know. It's your fault because you mowed the lawn yesterday. I was so good, and then you mowed the lawn, and I felt like death.
Ugh.
Just that headache. And I think I've been drinking too much water. I know you can do water poisoning, and I think I'm getting to that point. Because I'm hungry, and what are you looking at me weird for?
I don't think that's happening
Water poisoning?
to you. I don't think that's
I
happening.
think
Is all that water giving you the wrinkled raisin brain?
That's what it is. I looked up symptoms of water poisoning too, and every list has 4 main symptoms, and I have 3 out of 4.
Okay.
Because I'm taking my health seriously, and I'm like, I think I might be drinking too much water, and you're like, whatever.
I don't think I've ever seen you drink water in my life.
He drinks water all the time.
All the time. I fill this thing up maybe 5 times a day.
Okay.
But I'm also drinking other stuff on top of that. Like whenever I drink anything, I drink it with water too. So like if I have like a diet soda, I will always drink with water too. So yeah, I hate water. I've always hated water, but
Okay.
I drink an ungodly amount of water. It's annoying. And that's probably why I'm peeing all the time too. But anyway,
What are the symptoms?
headache.
Water the symptoms.
Oh, I gotta look them up. Well,
Forgetfulness.
Let me. You know what? I talked about it. We'll look at it right now. The funny thing is I was talking about this with a cousin, and she was laughing, and then she was like, "Wait, this is a real thing." And I was like, "Oh yeah, you can like water intoxication. You can drink too much water, and it could actually kill you." Because it's Nintendo related. That lady that was it was Hold Your Wii for a Wii. She was in that radio contest where all these people were holding their pee.
Oof.
Is this dying already?
Not worth of it. Not worth it anymore.
Holding their pee to win a Wii, and the lady died. Here you go.
Man, that stinks.
Fatigue, lightheadedness, headache, dizziness, excess urination. I mean, that's I think that's just from drinking a lot in general. But there you go. So I only drink so much because A, I know it's good to drink water, and B, I'm just hungry. So just at the time where I think I'm taking in too much. But anyway, can we get to news, please?
I mean, I guess.
Can you play a sound effect? Is this over? Oh, that's it. It died already? Yeah, the music's still playing. Well, we don't get to hear the sound, but I can tell when it stops. So, what? What are you looking at me weird for? What's the iPad at?
27.
I think we could do that. Yeah. So yes. Kirby, do talk amongst yourselves while we're doing this. Talk sports. You guys love sports.
How you doing? Health, heart/stamina count.
I have, as far as stamina, I have 1 3/4 rings right now.
Okay, all right, respect.
Hearts, I forget, either like 6 or 7.
I've been there.
Have you found any of the great fairies yet?
I've found where they are, but I don't have the means to coax them out of their
Watch that iPad battery.
like areas.
We should.
Oh, okay. Well, then I won't. I shouldn't tell you what'll bring
Guys,
them out.
Guys,
Yeah,
that's
let's-
enough Tears of the Kingdom talk. We're
Oh,
done.
come
with that.
on.
But anyway, first
Who
top
cares
story:
what else came
Zelda
out?
Tears of the Kingdom.
Whew.
It was the UK's biggest physical release of 2023, and in the UK, the biggest Zelda launch ever.
Who says UK doesn't like Zelda?
Let me give you the rundown here. Biggest box launch in the UK of the year, selling over 200,000 units in its first week. Really, it's the first 3 days. And again, that doesn't include digital numbers in the UK, so that's just physical alone. The previous record holder for biggest physical launch in the UK this year. Any guess?
Physical launch record holder of the year.
In the UK.
Yes, yes.
You said everything, yeah.
And it doesn't have to be a Nintendo game?
Nope.
E-Ring Eldenar.
That was not this year. We're in 2023. Remember, that was last year.
FIFA 23.
Great guess, but no.
Ooh.
MomBrain, a guess from you?
Lego something.
Lego Star Wars was a good guess, but no. Hogwarts Legacy was the previous record holder, which came out on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC, but I don't believe there's a box launch for PC. I know it's out on other systems now, but that was a previous record holder. Well, Tears of the Kingdom, which is out on one system, has beaten that record by 50%. 50%! That's right.
hero.
It managed to surpass the previous Zelda record holder as well. Breath of the Wild had the biggest Zelda launch in the UK previously, and it beat that by 2.7 times over. That said, it did debut lower than Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, 12% lower. So not the biggest Switch launch of all time, but the biggest Zelda launch. Tears of the Kingdom did bring in more revenue than Scarlet and Violet, though, because it's Nintendo's first $70 game. This was just after 2 days of being on sale. Let me clarify. I said 3. It's 2. Also,
Who the heck didn't get it the first day? Dummies.
some people
had car accidents or had to go to the hospital
Oh,
or
I'm
something.
sorry. Is she in a coma?
So as I said, Breath of the Wild was the previous record holder for Zelda in the UK. Does anyone care to guess what Zelda game before Breath of the Wild was the previous Zelda record holder in the UK? So
Wind
biggest
Waker.
Zelda. Wind Waker is a guess.
For the UK?
Yeah.
Twilight Princess.
Twilight Princess. Kirby, a guess. Feel free to
Um,
side with either of these guesses as well.
I guess I'll go with Twilight Princess as well.
MomBrain, I'm so sorry. Twilight Princess is the correct answer. Yes. Wind Waker comes in at number 10 of the top 10. Obviously, very divisive at the time, Wind Waker. But there you go. Tears of the Kingdom is the new number 1. Will the successor to Tears of the Kingdom beat that? We'll find out in 7 years. Lion K says things are looking good for this new Zelda game. At this rate, it might even beat Link's crossbow training. You're right. Fingers crossed. Maybe that'll happen. Hold on a second. PC says, "Hi, Malik Halo. Good to see you. I'm feeling personally attacked by the pod today." Oh, PC says, "I bought it on Tuesday. Don't judge." There you go.
Well, I mean, we expect someone to start the story that
Someone who
early
does-
who bought the game late.
You're right. A storyline player definitely would buy it. Like, boom, roasted.
With any luck, you'll be finished with the game by the end of the week.
Oh, that's
You'll
right.
never have to
Finally,
ever think of it again.
I can move on to something else. So tired of this game. Wrap this story up already.
We really are mean.
It's only the PC though, so
Oh, okay.
we hate the ones we love. We don't hate. We kid the ones we love. I'm so
We
sorry.
hate the ones we love. It's a little confusing.
Oh, that's great. You know the saying. We hate the ones we love. Speaking of record-setting moments for Nintendo, the Super Mario Brothers movie has become the 4th highest-grossing animated movie in the world.
My goodness.
Who wants to guess the 3 animated movies that have brought in more money than Mario?
Hey, I mean, you can tell me I'm right at any time or wrong, and I'll stop.
You
singing.
are wrong.
Okay, stop.
Oh, I thought you were
He was
just singing it for
guessing
fun.
Lion King, but that is not correct. I believe inflation adjusted potentially, but we're talking about just hard
Oh.
numbers here.
Oh, so it's got to be within like the
Spider-Man.
past 3 years.
Spider-Man?
Into the Spider-Verse.
No, nobody goes to see that. I mean, it did well. Don't get me wrong, but
Toy Story 4.
no. Good guess though.
Frozen 2.
Frozen
Ooh, that's a good
2
one.
is the number 1 animated movie of all time. It
Oh,
made
weird.
1.4 billion. Any guess as to what the second movie was?
Let's see. Animated. Rescuers Down Under.
No. Here's a hint. What Kirby said.
Wait, can I guess this one? Too?
Yes.
Frozen 1.
Yes, Frozen 1 is the movie that is the second highest grossing animated movie worldwide, 1.2 billion. Remember, Mario's 4, so we still have number 3. Does anybody have a guess as to what is the third highest grossing animated movie of all time?
Oh, like Minions or something, or Despicable Me, or
Great guess, but no. I'll do this. You can eliminate that company altogether.
okay. So it's a Pixar movie.
Well, Frozen and Frozen 2 are not Pixar movies, but in this instance, you are correct. It is a Pixar
But number
movie.
3 is a
Toy
Pixar
Story.
movie, is what we're saying.
Toy Story is not correct.
Oh, come on. There's these. What are the popular Pixar movies?
I don't know, Inside Out or something.
No.
What did they put
Wall-E?
out recently?
Nope.
Coco?
Nope. I'll give you a hint. 2018. Does that help?
Encanto?
No. That's also not Pixar. And that's also much more recent. Here's another hint. Big trend at cinemas that's still going on now.
Shootings. No.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Big cinematic trend that's still going on now. Animated movie from Pixar.
Mhm.
Oh, Incredibles 2.
There you go. The Incredibles.
In fact,
2.
Oh,
last week when you said that The Incredibles 2 was like was like Pixar's highest grossing movie or something, I was astounded that there aren't like 5 Incredibles movies. Why haven't they milked that? I
Well,
wonder
they
what's
tend
stopping
not
them.
to milk franchises. Even like Toy Story's not milked. There's only been 4
That's
over.
pretty milked.
Yeah,
That's pretty milky, and they're making a 5th. I'm sure.
Well, I mean, are we really saying milked when it's been over the course of like 25 years?
I think so, because when you think of it, they've made so much money with all their stuff, but Incredibles 2 did so well, and it's been 5 years and nothing. Like not even like a hint that there's going to be a third one. So you'd think that they would want to milk that.
Well, that's what I was saying. I don't think Pixar milks their franchises. I think if there was any franchise you could accuse of being milked from Pixar, it would be Cars,
Oh yeah,
because
they
that
had a
never reviewed
spin-off.
well, and they did spin-offs like
Right.
instantly. I would say with everything else, they only put out a sequel when they actually have a good idea for it. And I would argue again that I don't think 4 movies over the course of 25 years is milking a franchise. Like it's not a lot of movies.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I mean, your definition of milking and mine are different.
Well, tell me your definition. Yeah, it's almost been 30 years.
I'd say anything beyond 2, like an original and a sequel. I feel like they may be milking.
But
I
you don't think
if it's
milking
beyond a trilogy. Like I'll even allow a trilogy, but you put
so
in
you're
a 4th
saying
movie.
milking has nothing to do with quality at all. Like milking, it means like you're pulling out every last little bit that you can get. And you're like, boy, they really milked this thing dry. That's what people say. Like, all right, if you're saying milking doesn't refer to quality at all.
I mean, I get what you mean.
It doesn't. I don't look at it as quality. It could be quality, but for me, it's just like how many have we had in a certain amount of time. That's for me. That's milking.
All right, here's another thing. Would you ever say milking in a positive light? So, like, if somebody was like Toy Story, you'd be like, man, they really milked that, didn't they?
I guess no, you wouldn't say it as I don't think you would,
Yeah.
because it just means there's too many. Like it's oversaturation.
And I think there's only too many when people feel the quality has dropped.
Yeah.
Like, people would say it about Marvel movies or now Indiana Jones or Star Wars or any of that because, there's all divisive movies or releases in there. So that's where I'm at with Pixar.
Well, you haven't even watched like a ton of them, so
the only one I haven't seen is 4. So I've watched the majority of them.
One of them.
Some would say I watched 75% of the Toy Story movies.
Well,
Really?
I thought I was all cried out after the 3rd one. But
Ridley Soria says, "Come on, Mario, fire up that blue shell and knock the mouse down a peg." I mean, it's within reach. As of posting earlier this week, the Mario movie was at 1.21 billion, and The Incredibles was at 1.24 billion. So I would say 3rd place is a lock if we're not there already. Frozen is at 1.27. I'd say also doable, definitely. Frozen 2 is at 1.4 billion. I'd say that might be too far of a reach, especially now that the movie is available to purchase digitally in the United States. So I think 2nd place, there's a shot. There's a real shot. 1st place, I don't think so. And you know what? I think that's fine because I would say Frozen 2 is the better movie, but that's just me. And there you go. So another record for Nintendo.
all right.
And the records continue. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is the 2nd biggest UK launch in terms of revenue for Nintendo. This is great. So Tears of the Kingdom brought in the 2nd highest revenue for a game release for Nintendo ever. What was number 1? So again, Tears of the Kingdom was $70. Nintendo's first $70 game. What game brought in more revenue for Nintendo at launch than Tears of the Kingdom? It's a bit of a puzzle, but you might be able to work things out if you think about it. I believe in you guys. You can feel free to discuss amongst
Did any
each
of
other.
the Ring Fit Adventure, that comes with something else? Would that make a difference?
Well, just because of the price, you think?
Yeah.
I don't think
We are
that would've
talking
been-
highest grossing revenue in the first week.
Oh.
in the first week.
I'm not saying anything to dissuade you or encourage you. I'm just making clear Tears of the Kingdom brought in the
Animal
2nd
Crossing.
highest revenue.
Oh, that's
Animal
a great.
Crossing
Great.
because during the pandemic and
That's got-
everything.
That's great.
Going with
answer.
Animal Crossing?
Yeah.
Incorrect. I'm so sorry. Your way of thinking was right, and then you decided to not follow it.
Well, good luck, guys.
What was the way of thinking that you didn't
Like
follow?
it comes with peripheral or
Oh.
something extra.
Something to raise the price. Yeah, exactly.
Skyward Sword. But that didn't sell well.
Is your guess Skyward Sword?
Oh yeah. But I get one guess and then I'm out of here. That's it.
That's how we've been doing it because you got annoyed the other way.
Oh,
Do you want more guesses?
I don't.
Do you want to not guess at all?
No, I don't mind. I'll say Skyward Sword. How about that? It comes with the peripheral, right? The Wii Motion Plus. So that's expensive. Oh no, Mario Kart with the steering wheel, right? Oh no, Rob the Robot with the little Rob and the
Are you guessing all three of
Dolomite?
these?
Not Dolomite.
Dolomite, yeah.
Gyromite.
A copy of Dolomite for the NES.
Yeah.
There's your picture, Colonel.
I know they're all wrong, so
They are all wrong, yes.
You love saying that. He loves it.
I hand to Buddy in the sky. I do not love saying that. To tell you the truth, I get nervous when we do trivia because I think some people tend to get aggravated. Let's.
Well, it's
leave
only
it at that.
because the host loves to bring us down a notch.
I don't. I want you to get it. When MomBrain was saying what she said, I was like, "Oh, she's on the right path," and then veered off. MomBrain's hint is the biggest hint. If you have one more guess, I'll take it. Otherwise, we'll go.
We fit.
Final answer.
Yeah, go with We Fit.
That is correct. Did you look in the chat?
Of course I did. I'm
Yeah,
not going to
okay.
come up. God, see, he's got to make sure.
I got to make sure that I give you proper praise if it's worth it, and it wasn't. You just got the answer from somebody else.
You didn't have to praise me. I'm not a dog. I mean, and what if you taught a dog to look in the chat? That'd be pretty amazing too, by the way.
Yes,
If a dog
but
could
I
look in
put
the
you
chat and
above
read and
I
then-
put you above a dog in intelligence.
Well, it
so-
doesn't feel that way sometimes.
You know, I get called out for saying that I love when you fail. And then I also, at the same time, get called out for not being happy when you didn't get it. Like, I want you to win and I don't want you to fail. And I got knocked for both of them.
No, you don't have to be happy when I get it right. Just
I like to be happy. If you got the answer correct without looking at chat, I would have been excited. I would have been, that's awesome. You got it.
Did you get the answer correct without looking at chat?
But you looked at chat. And I even asked you, do you want me to just end it? And
look
you
at
said
chat.
no, because you wanted to take the answer from chat and give it. Correct?
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, please.
It's not right. Well, whoever in the chat said we fit, if you didn't look at the story, congratulations. Yes, we fit. So obviously Tears of the Kingdom
Moving on.
moved more units at launch, but Wii Fit was much more expensive at launch, and still a good amount of people bought that. So, and that moved, tens of millions in its lifetime, and that was, what was that, $90 a pop, $80 a pop, something like that. So, that Wii Fit balance board and Wii Fit together, they brought in a buttload of money. Don't worry, guys, we'll get to the time when every game is priced at $100, I'm sure. So that time's coming, everybody. Another record. The Mario Brothers movie has become Mexico's highest grossing film ever. No
yeah.
other movie in the history of cinema has made more money than the Mario movie.
And there's 3 big directors that come out of Mexico.
Guillermo, oh my God, Guillermo del Toro
God.
Inarritu, Alejandro Inarritu,
and Senor Spielbergo.
and Senor Spielbergo, of course.
That's mind blowing to me that not any other movie in cinematic history has made more money than the Mario movie. I know prices for tickets are higher now than they have ever been, but still, for the Mario movie to get that accolade is insanity. It beat out Avengers Endgame and Spider-Man No Way Home. So Spider-Man No Way Home made more money than Avengers Endgame. That seems funny to me. I mean, I know they were close in revenue, but a Spider-Man movie versus the culmination of the MCU at that point. That's crazy to me.
No Way Home. No Way Home. That's the third one, right? The one that. Okay, yeah. I was just because I was thinking
Homecoming.
like Endgame came out and then Far From Home,
Yeah.
so I was like, well, maybe it did well because it came off of Endgame, but no, this is the one after that
yeah.
one. Oh, I see.
Yeah, Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home. And then I don't know, probably the next one won't have a home title after because they'll be doing a new trilogy, whatever. What's the opposite of home?
Work coming.
Spider-Man back at work. I like it. Spider-Man Work It. Spider-Man Homework.
Oh,
Oh
to
my
bridge
God.
the gap.
Homework.
To bridge
Homework.
the gap.
That's it. So congratulations, Illumination and Nintendo on that one. We are not doing this story, but we are doing this one. If you haven't seen the Mario movie, or you've seen it a bazillion times, or you just want to see it again and you don't want to go to the theaters, the Mario movie is now available to buy or rent digitally in the US and Canada. So you can buy it for $30 or you can digitally rent, which means it'll be like $20 or something like that. If you live in those locations, you can go through Amazon, Google, Apple, Microsoft, Vudu, and others. The movie will eventually be available to stream. Not on Tubi. I'm so sorry, Jason. The movie will be available to stream on Peacock at some point, but we don't have a date for that yet. Also, we believe the movie will be available for digital purchase and rental in the UK on the 22nd, so Monday. Look out
Bless
for
them,
that.
because it's just in time for teachers at the end of a school year.
Pop the Mario movie on and let the
That's
kids
it. Oh,
enjoy.
y'all worked so hard. You get to watch a movie. You did it. Great job, guys.
Vin Loria says, criminy, at that price to rent, you might as well just spend the extra $5 to buy it. And that, my friend, is why they do it. Yes, they make the rental price so silly that you're like, I might as well buy it for a couple more bucks and have it forever. That's how it works. That's why they do what they do.
Woohoo!
So yeah, that's a pretty penny. Also, they're like, well, if the rental price is that high and people can't stream it anywhere right now, they could either go to the theater or buy it. And chances are people are going to be like, I'm too lazy to go to the theater. I'll just buy it and then I can have it forever. And I mean, if you got kids, kids watch movies a million times over.
Yeah,
So.
kids. I don't know. I just
Kids, yeah. Some people got kids.
I know nothing about them.
Kids,
Tell me about
man,
it.
kids.
Which is strange because I act like a child.
Kids love watching movies a million times. I know that. When my sister was a kid and I was a kid with her, she must have watched The Little Mermaid, I think, probably 70 times would be an understatement. That movie was on all the time.
If we were brothers, we would not be friends. I'm sorry to say.
Because we'd be brothers.
Yeah, okay.
Why? Because you watched movies when you were a kid?
Because I'm just like your sister in all those horrible ways. We're both the June 12th Geminis.
What was your childhood watching over and over again?
Oh my God, Police Academy 1 through 3, like
Coneheads.
every single day. Coneheads all the time. Wayne's World. You would have been so
I was
upset.
the
But I'm
same
talking
way.
about 8, 9 years old. Is still the
Oh,
same kind of movie?
I was
Probably Police Academies back then.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
definitely had access to them way too early.
So not like anything you would typically aim at kids you watched over and over again?
Disney's Robin Hood, probably.
Oh yeah, me
it's a
too.
good one. I did The Sword and the Stone a lot, Sleeping Beauty, Bedknobs and Broomsticks, Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, over and over and over and over and over.
But there's nothing like you never, not even as a kid, there was nothing that you were like, I love this movie, I want to watch it again.
No, I never sat down and was like, let's watch this movie for the third time, like ever. My sister watched Home Alone 2 a ton, and out of all the ones she would watch all the time, that was my favorite, but I wouldn't sit down to watch it with her. It was just always on. I might run in to see what's his face get electrocuted again, but other than that, no.
Oh yeah.
My mom's in the chat. Mom, if you can remember, and I'm misremembering, please go right ahead, but I cannot remember ever watching movies on repeat. It was my mom says I watched Cinderella a lot as a kid. We're not talking about you, Mom. We're talking about me. My sister also watched Cinderella a ton. A Beauty and the Beast, she watched a ton.
I watched The Sound of Music a bunch over and over again. It's a good one.
Trying to I'm trying to think of others for her, but they're all just Disney, Lion King and all that a lot. Yeah. Kirby, any you watched repeatedly when you were a child? Perfect, Jesus. Perfect.
Probably like Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I remember watching
It's
a
a
lot.
classic.
Oh, man, I'm sure there's a ton of others.
My mom vouches. She says, "No, I don't remember you watching anything over and over." There
Oh
you
yeah,
go.
Mary Poppins. I watched that a butt ton.
My sister watched a buttload of Mary Poppins too. Yeah, definitely. But I think it goes to I think it goes to The Little Mermaid. That's the one I remember the most.
Anastasia Beaverhausen just came to a realization.
I watched Bananas in Pajamas so much I broke the VHS. So now I'm thinking that was just an excuse so my parents didn't have to watch it again. Could have happened. Could have happened. Man, I didn't know you watched like those when you were that young. That's fine. I don't care. I just
My brother, who was 6 years older than me, found out early how to. It's funny because the things he could do when he was 13 technically are like miles ahead of what he can't do on an iPhone today. Like it's unbelievable. We'd go to the videos, the VHS store, the rental store, and like we would
The
rent
tape
a whole bunch of
depository.
stuff, and he would put two like VCRs together, and he would tape all of these movies.
But there's that warning in the beginning.
There was some sort of like electrical. You've heard of this?
Yes.
Okay. So, anyways,
No, I meant like when you put on a
I know,
yeah.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, so he found a way to do that, and so I had all these R-rated movies at home, and my parents, I don't know if they even knew, and I don't know, I just would watch like Police Academy or like I don't know, like a bunch of stuff that's like not like appropriate for like a young kid. But that's what made me the dynamo I am today.
I'm not saying this to make you feel bad at all. It's just this is a realization. I'm like, this makes a lot of sense. Now I understand a lot of things. Backseat Studio says I must have seen Goonies 100 times.
Well, what's the realization? I don't understand.
No, just like your approach towards media in general. I understand a lot
just
more.
like
now.
wanting to watch things over and over, or what's the
that
or the
and
fact
like
that I liked Police Academy as an 8-year-old, so I'm still a dummy who likes crappy stuff
like,
today. Is that what you're
the
saying?
watching thing? See, like I said, not in a bad way, and that's where you go automatically. No, it's your habits of how you watch things, and you're leaning towards certain genres and how you feel about movies back then versus movies now, and a lot of it makes sense to me. I understand it. It's
So you're
I'm
saying
learning more.
I'm sentimental, and if I don't like a movie that I watched today, it's because I didn't watch it when I was 8.
No, I'm not saying that at all. Certainly, we all have movies that we watched when we were kids that we love to death, and they are horrible, but they still mean something to us now. But outside of that, no, I'm just saying, like, when you were a kid, you got introduced to those movies much earlier. That's why they're so near and dear to you, because you connected with them in your youth.
Yeah, okay. All
Like
right.
I didn't see RoboCop or any of that stuff until I was like in later mid-teens or stuff like that, and you might have seen that stuff when you were very young.
RoboCop I actually didn't see young, but I did see the Terminator movies pretty young.
There you go. Yeah, like I didn't see Terminator or any of that until high school. So PC says, weren't you not allowed to watch The Simpsons?
Which is funny because I wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons for like the first 2 seasons.
Great.
That is really funny, PC, that you remember that. Yeah, that was true. I don't know what it was about TV versus VHS. I guess because I could take a VHS upstairs, and like we didn't have TV upstairs, but we had the VHS up there.
Yeah.
So like I could probably just be up there doing my thing, and they had no idea. But yeah, Simpsons, not until like season 3 were we allowed to watch it, and it wasn't like there wasn't like okay, you can watch it, talk or anything. It was just like my brother was just like, I'm gonna watch it and shut up, and like I'm gonna sit here quietly next to him and rebel while he's rebelling, kind of thing, So, and then we were just able to do it.
I never remember as a kid being told I couldn't watch anything, like, oh, that's not appropriate, or oh, don't watch that. It was just like, this is so me. It was like, that's for R-rated 17-year-old people, and I am not 17, so I do not watch that. That's what it was.
You're a rule
It
follower.
was very me. But it's not a rule that my parents were like, don't watch R-rated movies. That's not allowed. Like, it was nothing my parents ever
you
said.
don't like rules.
That is such a weird dichotomy, isn't it? He's like a big hater of rules, but at the same time, he wouldn't break a law to save your life.
Yeah.
So I don't get it.
To save someone's life, I would. I
Although
certainly
there was
would.
that night trap kerfuffle.
But there were no laws.
But you knew that you probably shouldn't have it, and you were like, "Yes, my mom
No.
bought it."
No, never ever. Like I knew that was being talked about at the time, but it was not like, oh, I'm duping my mom on something. It was just like, oh boy, I'm excited to play this because it's being talked about so much. But yeah, like that's a perfect example. My mom didn't get it for me. Years later, admitted that was wrong and it was her mistake. But I never, like that moment in time wasn't like, now I will play Night Trap and everything that I'm not allowed to play. It was just like, I'm not allowed to play it. So
I will have 5 Whoppers
and
and 5 more Whoppers.
Solid Master Link saying that Police Academy is not bad for kids.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I'm pretty sure all the Police Academy sequels are PG.
Well, Solid Master Link
It's
then goes
interesting.
on to say, also, I watch them on television, so all the bad stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
okay.
gonna guess the presentation scene was removed from the first Police Academy
Yeah.
on TV.
The next
Slide.
Yeah, I watched them all on
Why is
Channel 11.
Finest moment in
Yeah.
cinematic history. Yeah,
I think they were like always on that channel.
they somehow made them run 3 hours long with the commercials, but also half the movie present because of all the edits as well. So, oh, I love that scene in that movie. I love it so much.
sweating a little.
That he should have gotten an Oscar for that. It's so good. Yeah, I know. I didn't watch them. I don't know. I when I was like 16 and like 9/10, I went to an R-rated movie for the first time ever, and I was like, I shouldn't be doing this. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I couldn't resist. Anybody care to guess the movie? I went with Scott, by the way. So good.
So what would this have been? 1999.
Showgirls?
Wasn't Showgirls.
I don't know, like Armageddon, and that's probably not
That
an
was
R-rated.
PG-13.
Uh,
I know you probably like guessing movies, so I'll give you a little leeway if you want, but I'll give you hints when you request.
Oh, it's an R-rated movie from 1999. that
It
you
wasn't
would-
like American Beauty, was it?
No.
Okay.
Was it a comedy? or-
No. It's not a good movie either.
Oh, PC. Or your mom says, of course you went with Scott. PC says Wild Things.
Oh,
PC got it.
that's
PC
brilliant.
got it.
Brilliant guess. Brilliant
Those
guess.
Wild Things. But like my mom, it's not like my parents didn't know I was going. I don't think my parents would have ever been like, you can't go to see a rated R movie. It'd be like they might not let you in, and that's that. Like my parents knew I was going, but I was like,
That's
this
so
is
funny.
rated R. The story wasn't great. Let's say that the story wasn't
It's a
great.
pretty sleazy movie.
That was just after. Yeah, Scott.
I was
and
going for the Kevin Bacon dick. That's all I was going for.
I told the story before about how Scott and I guess this was probably the previous year when we were still 16. We tried to go to Metro, the Eddie Murphy action movie, and
yeah.
we ended up buying tickets to Mother starring Albert Brooks so that we could get into Metro, and then they didn't fall
Yes.
for it.
Oh.
So the guy came and grabbed us, and he's like, "Let's see your tickets." And we were like, "Our parents have them. They're in the back of the theater or something." He's like, "Let me see your tickets." So we showed him. He's like, "You bought a ticket to Mother. You go see Mother." And he like made us go and sit and watch Mother. We were 16 and we watched Mother, and it was surprisingly good.
I've heard good
Oh, okay.
things. I've
Yeah,
heard good
surprisingly funny.
things. Joe Shabadoo says, watch Boogie Nights with my parents when I was 13. Awkward, but that's how I fell in love with Philip Seymour Hoffman as an actor. Well, there you go.
That's not a movie I'd want to watch with my parents.
Yeah, me neither.
I've definitely watched a few movies with my mom in the room where like I have to give the side eye because it's so awkward.
Yeah, the only thing my dad didn't like that we watched The Simpsons, but he never was like, you're not allowed to watch The Simpsons. He thought it was corrupting us. My mom, I guess, knew better and was like, I don't know the conversations they had, but clearly it wasn't a mandate that we weren't allowed to watch.
Yeah.
And as I said, I've watched Duckman before, which I probably
yeah,
shouldn't have been
yeah.
watching, but yeah, I watched it with my mom. It was fine. I survived. It was great.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, I don't think either of my parents liked The Simpsons. I think they thought it was like, teaching kids to talk back to their parents.
Yeah.
But I don't know, they never like stopped me from watching it. That, as far as I can remember.
In a very bizarre turn of events, in this house, we all sat down to watch The Simpsons together as a family,
That is so strange, isn't it?
right? And
It
my
is.
mom
Not allowed
had
to watch MTV.
my mom
though.
was in love. I wasn't allowed to watch MTV or 90210 or Beavis and Butthead until I was a little older. My mom loved telling people to eat her shorts, and she had a Bart Simpson shirt. It was like him, with his foot like on the skateboard and with the speech bubble that said "Eat my shorts."
My mom says, this is about watching The Simpsons. My mom says, I told Dad he would make you a nerd. John, you're going to make the kid a nerd. Stop. He's already got enough problems. He plays video games.
He's not allowed to watch The Simpsons.
Yeah,
That's
right.
funny.
Yes.
He already plays video games.
I know my dad was like, he plays too many video games. So I am a nerd. And look, look at this. 40 years later now, my dad's watching Demon Slayer on his own. Who's the nerd now, Dad?
Were you a chubby kid? Did your parents ever say anything to you? Like, were they like, we got to get him into a camp or anything?
They never said it to me. I was a chubby kid.
But
Yeah.
You were like appropriately, you were probably firmly within whatever weight you should.
I would argue no, but I might be I know I was heavier for a kid, certainly.
Did you have to shop the husky section?
Always, yeah.
Oh.
I wasn't like obese, but I
Yeah.
was chubby. Yeah, when I got into high school, then it I get. You know what?
I have
don't think
pictures of
really
you-
until out of high school I just fell apart. But I was always heavier. Yeah. But I'll tell you, man, I was living good back then. Micro Magic French fries. Holy, I used to. This is how much. This is gonna blow your minds. First off, I know we're way off course, but whatever.
That's fine.
Micro Magic French fries.
We're
For
onto
those who
something.
don't know what it was, there were these little red and yellow boxes of crinkle cut French fries. You put them in the microwave for a minute or whatever. They came out delicious French fries.
Tasty.
I used to love
Delicious.
them. You've never heard this. You're gonna love it. I don't know how everybody else is gonna feel, but this is gonna be. I know I'm pumping it up, but I really think it's a thing. I savored those moments of eating Micro Magic French fries so much. It felt like fine dining to me. So I savored the moment so much that I would make them, put them on a fancy plate with ketchup, take the plate out on the deck, and stare off to the mountains and eat them one by one and be like, this is living.
That's amazing.
Just a dip and outside. I was
gonna say, being outside for you, enjoying a view.
I felt like a king. Like I was on the deck above everybody else,
unreal.
like the mountain looking down over 31, and I'm like, this is my people. I eat the fries,
That's
dip them in
brilliant.
ketchup. Ooh, delicious.
I have to try these fries
Chef's
just because.
There they are, Red Souza. That's them.
Oh,
I don't
there's
think they
no
make them
way
anymore.
they
He
make
still
those
talks
anymore.
about those, like what? Like he
Love
still
them.
talks
I
about them.
love
I
them.
mean, that's how you'd get him out, like hiking or something. Be like, I got some of these fries, and he'd be like, "Well, I
There's some
guess I
Micro
can."
Magic fries
I
at the
can
top of this mountain.
Your Majesty, would you like to go for a hike?
Yeah, I can't imagine. They're still
I
around.
wonder what the peasants are eating today.
I remember it vividly.
The Red Souza just put the perfect Simpsons picture to coincide with how you feel when you ate those fries.
That's so good. That's so good.
Looking down on everyone.
Yes, I don't think Micro Magic. Do they still make Micro Magic fries? Launched in 1988. Oh, when I become the longest selling brand that marks its 34th years in stores as of last year.
So it's microwavable French fries, and they're that good? Or
Yeah,
were
they had like a you know how
The same-
why am I blanking?
the same
Hot
reason-
Pockets has the
Okay.
sleeves that were supposed to crisp. The whole inside of the Micro Magic box was that.
But you don't subscribe to that hot pocket cooking ritual.
You're right.
You told
Yeah,
me
I
you don't like
don't.
the.
But for Micro Magic fries, it was literally the box. Like you could not remove it.
Okay.
But
Oh, okay.
yeah, that was the like the roof of the box had that, and I want to say the sides as well. But it had that. You just literally threw the box in the microwave, and a minute and a half
Apparently,
you got
they
out,
came.
and they were crispy.
They originated in Japan.
I'm looking at that.
Oh.
Okay, I need you to stop everything you're doing and find out if we can get Micro Magic French fries. Because now that I know it exists, I guess it's Otsuka Foods.
Man.
You're still around, but that.
So the same way I feel about Police Academy growing up is how you feel about these microwave magic fries.
I guess so. They are still around and they're in Japan. And the box, while Japanese, still looks strikingly. Look at this amazing little potato man! Look at this potato man! I found my first tattoo.
He looks like Mr. Peanut
Yeah.
would get along with them.
I'm sending him.
Or
to
they
the
would
chat
they would have rival businesses.
so you can see this peanut man or this potato man. Holy crap! I need Micro Magic French fries. Look at how good they look. Japan. Innovators again. Japan had me since I was a child.
If
Video
he-
games, anime, and now
If
French
he
fries.
gets these, he's never gonna hang with us again. He's gonna be too good for all of us.
He'll be out on the back porch all the time.
Yeah.
that dapper tot. That's great. Man, that guy's awesome. We didn't have him here, but we deserve to.
I mean, it doesn't look like you could find him here.
Look for Micro Magic Import. Do that. I got to get back to. I
What?
could talk about Micro Magic the whole day.
What is that green silhouette behind that Japanese lettering? That's not a map of Japan, is it? Japan doesn't look like that, does it?
It looks. I would say it's a map. Yeah. Look. Even the little like you can see the box. That's the crisper lid and all that stuff. There it is. The little perforated. Oh, we're tearing that thing off. Magic. It was magic. That's why they named it Micro Magic. I just came to the epiphany. Well, guys, there you go. Is that really the Micro Magic tater top man? That like real suit? Quite the handsome spud, says Kufu. This is great. Oh man, you thought we were going to talk about Tears of the Kingdom all day? No, Micro Magic French fries. By the way, name of Austin, friend of the site, friend of the show, creator of the theme song. He texted me last week to be like, "This is why I love your." I'm paraphrasing. This is why I love your show. You tune in thinking you're going to get Tears of the Kingdom talk, and the show starts off with a half hour about milk. He's like, "This is why I love it." So that's why we're here.
I mean, it's all in Japanese.
I got a message. Court lives in Japan. He could send them to me. Oh, it's all coming together. All right, let's move on.
It's all coming together.
Back to Tears of the Kingdom.
Everything's going according.
To Kenkaku.
Mhm.
That's right. So as you might remember, people downloaded Tears of the Kingdom illegally. They pirated copies of the game.
Hope they feel good about themselves.
Well, Nintendo is out to get these pirates, and they're contacting your ISP to let them know that you're up to funny business. So Nintendo's been tracking who's downloading these pirated copies. And if you've downloaded a pirated copy, keep an eye out on your. That's right. Keep an eye out on your inbox or your regular mail, because you may be getting a notification from your internet service provider, as many people are. They're getting them, and it says, "Hey, we know you've downloaded this game illegally from this site. We know what you're up to."
This
so,
is like an updated I know what you did last summer.
so they are watching, and you could be in trouble. So if you did it, you shouldn't do it again. 8-Bit Lego says, "I'm not an expert on the matter, but I've heard these notices usually are just scary-looking letters and nothing more. The ISP usually only takes action if the piracy is excessive." Well, if you want to risk it with
Have
the
a
Nintendo
little more
ninjas,
copium
you go
with
right
that
ahead.
over there, 8-Bit Nintendo. We know what you're doing over there.
It's
kidding.
true that these letters are usually just scare tactics, but we know that Nintendo goes far beyond scare tactics all the time. So if you want to play that game, you go right ahead and play. I'm not here to tell you what games you're allowed to play. We also got the official sales tally for Tears of the Kingdom as of its first 3 days. Nintendo announced that in just 3 days, Tears of the Kingdom sold 10 million units.
Oh,
10 million units. That makes it the fastest selling game in the history of the Legend of Zelda series. Not a surprise there. So, Breath of the Wild, best selling Zelda game of all time. Tears of the Kingdom managed to sell a third of what Breath of the Wild did in its entire lifetime in just 3.
Amazing.
So where's it going to end? Above Breath of the Wild? Let's hope so. But it's certainly on the track there. 3 days, 10 million copies. Congratulations, everybody. We did it. Setzer Gabiani says an astonishingly impressive result, no matter how you slice it. Excellent work to all involved. Excellent work on that comment. By the way, a special thank you to everybody who's visiting GoNintendo. I don't want to give out specific numbers, but I don't know how much I should talk about it because I'm going to get emotional. Lots of people are coming to the site. We hit a milestone last month that I was very proud of. and it's bringing. I'm seeing new people signing up on the site and commenting and all that stuff. So that's great. But thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. I got the report myself, and I was like, oh, that's a lot better than I was expecting. So thank you very much, everybody. I really appreciate it.
People want to know what you have to say about Nintendo, baby.
People need to shop. We have speaking of shopping. What's that? Josh, you have something to say?
Hey, be quiet. I think I hear something. NPD.
Josh, it's not NPD anymore.
He's
got to update his programming.
NPD. Is
that what I sound like?
Josh, it's Circana. I think it's Circana. It might be something else, but we just call it now. I don't call it NPD anymore. I just call it the U.S. Hardware Software Sales because nobody knows what the new name is. Let me see. It's probably down here. Copyright Circana. Yes, it's not NPD. It's Circana. We're not doing that. All right.
Shut up. I don't care.
Because we've had some guessing games so far, I will not torture you unless you want to be tortured. Would you like to guess?
Torture me, baby.
All right. April 2023's best-selling games in the United States. Not specific to Nintendo. Just April 2023's best-selling games in the U.S. We'll do the round robin until you get an answer. You're out.
These are like the whatever's popular right now. Like what just released, like, more or less.
Yes.
Or recently.
More or less, yes.
For everything.
For April. For
the whole world.
No, for the U.S.
For the U.S. My turn?
Yes.
Jedi game.
Number 1.
Red-haired adopted Jedi man.
Number 1. Jedi Survivors.
I don't know where the adopted came from.
Kirby.
Shoot. What else came out? I don't remember.
Well, remember, it doesn't have to be something that just came out last month. It's what's popular last month.
Pokemon?
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are number 18. You just squeaked in there.
Okay.
MomBrain?
I was going to say Pokemon. Let's go with... let's go with the Kirby game. The new Kirby game.
And what would that be?
I couldn't tell you.
I'm so sorry, MomBrain. You are out. No. All right, Deux, back to you.
How did I get into this situation?
Because you answered the first one right.
No, this situation.
Oh, yes.
Dead Island 2, baby.
That is number 2. Yes.
The situation for our radio listeners is
his hand situation.
My wrist and thumb.
Kirby, back to you.
Is E-Ring Elden?
Where's our
still on
music
there?
here for this? E-Ring Elden R. Yes, number 12.
Very nice. Very
Back to you, Deux.
Oh man. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Number 10.
Oh!
Yes. Kirby, back to you.
Hogwarts.
Hogwarts
Excellent.
Legacy, number 6. Yes, back to you, Deux.
Excellent.
We got a barn burner here.
God of War Ragnarok.
God of War Ragnarok is not here. Kirby, you can retain your crown again if you just give me one more right one. Man, God of War Ragnarok dropped out pretty quick. Is
Yeah.
that really not here?
Is there a Lego game in there?
The man goes with Lego.
Very good.
And it is not here. The
Oh,
game
no.
continues. Deux, back to you.
The Last of Us.
The Last of Us Part 1 is on here. Yes. Kirby, to you.
No.
I'm not even guessing, and I'm sweating. Hey,
Are you
I'm
sweating?
sweating. My brain's very busy over there. Can't do the soundboard.
I'm not.
I said, hey, I'm sweating.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna jam it up.
All right. Kirby, we need an answer.
Oh my god. It's FIFA.
FIFA is number 9. Back to do.
Oh, no. Grand Theft Auto 5.
Grand Theft Auto 5. Well, and an unprecedented showing. Kirby again retains his crown. No GTA 5. Congratulations, Kirby. Undefeated.
So he doesn't have to get one right then.
No,
Oh,
because you got one wrong,
Okay.
right?
I mean, I thought it would go head to head, and if you both got one wrong, the game would be over.
But he got one.
No, he keeps his crown. He keeps his crown.
Do you want to guess one more?
No, why would you want to do that?
Forza or Gran Turismo, whatever that game's called.
Neither are on here.
Really? Okay. Is there some kind of racing game on there?
Not with a quick look, no.
All right.
Here's what you missed.
Well, that doesn't count, by the way.
Number 3 is MLB The Show. Number 4 is Resident Evil 4. Number
Oh,
5,
yeah.
somehow not guessed this entire time, Call of Duty. Number 6, Hogwarts. Number 7, PGA Tour. Number 8, Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection. Number 9, FIFA.
Really?
Number 10, I know, already sold over 1 million copies.
Crazy.
Number 10, Mario Kart. Number 11, Minecraft Legends. Number 12, E-Ring Elden R. Then Minecraft. Then the Final Fantasy 1 through 6 bundle. That's nice to see in there.
Very cool.
Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp. New Super Mario Brothers. The Last of Us. That's got to be New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe or whatever. Last of Us Part 1, Pokemon Scarlet Violet, Madden, NFL 23, and then Super Mario 3D World. The Mario movie, bringing back those Mario games to the top 20. Pretty awesome to see. Here's another shocker.
Shock me, baby.
Number 1 hardware. The Switch. Beat out PS5. The launch of that Zelda OLED came out in April, and people wanted that bad boy, so it helped the
That's
Switch get to number
right.
1.
That thing is so sweet.
PS5 is number 1 in terms of revenue, but again, Switch number 1 in terms of units sold. So good for Switch. Unbelievable. Sticer says, I wonder what game will top the charts next month and for months to come after that. Oh, I think you know.
Do you think they would do stuff like this again? Like, because this was a huge success with the console. Do you think they'd be like, maybe we'll make special consoles and special controllers more often, or this was just kind of like, this game's so special, we'll make something one-off?
Yeah, like for what? You're not going to do one for Pikmin. I can't see you doing one for Metroid because not enough people like Metroid. A Mario one, maybe. An Animal Crossing one, certainly. A Pokemon one. Yeah, it's the bigger
But
franchise.
they've done all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah. They've seen everything. It was a rumor last week. It's confirmed now. Mortal Kombat 1 coming to the Switch, officially announced. Due out September 19th, 2023. All the rumors were true. It is a reboot for the franchise, everybody. Watch the trailer. Looks fantastic. All about it. The game will introduce a reborn Mortal Kombat universe that has been created by the fire god Liu Kang, featuring reimagined versions of iconic characters as they've never been seen before, along with a new fighting system, game modes, bone-crushing finishing moves, and more.
Mortal Kombat. I was trying to think of how the song went, which is why there was a sigh there.
Also, setting things right from their wrongs decades ago, Jean-Claude Van Damme will be in this Mortal Kombat game. For those who don't know, Jean-Claude Van Damme was the whole reason they made the original Mortal Kombat. He was supposed to be the star fighter in the game, and it fell apart, which led to the Mortal Kombat that we got. Now, 30 plus years later, Jean-Claude Van Damme is coming to the game.
Which is funny because then he went on to be in like the Street Fighter movie too.
Yeah,
just
right.
like
Isn't that funny?
coincidentally, I'm sure. But
Just to be clear, Jean-Claude Van Damme is not a character in the Mortal Kombat universe. He will be a skin for Johnny Cage, but he is in the game.
that's what I was
so
going to say. Wasn't he supposed to be the skin for Johnny Cage, or was he supposed to be like? Was it supposed to be like Jean-Claude Van Damme's Mortal Kombat?
I don't think that was going to be the name, but he was the star. Yeah, it was like he was going to be the selling point for the game.
Man, I
so.
wonder how he screwed that up.
I don't. The
Too much white
details of
lady.
it escaped me. I used to know what I don't anymore. But there you go. So all versions of Mortal Kombat 1 are built on the NetherRealm Studios technology with oversight from NetherRealm. Shiver Entertainment and Saber Interactive are developing the Switch version of the game. So studios that are very capable of doing Switch ports. That's great. It will have rollback netcode to support online play, which is what you want. So that's good too. Cross play and cross progression.
And Crossfire.
So that's great as well. They are, like I said, Ed Boon, big Nintendo fan, always a supporter of it when he can be. Obviously, these decisions aren't his. It comes down to Warner Brothers, but Warner Brothers is on board
don't
too.
know how any name could be more trustworthy than Ed Boon.
Ed Boon, Noob Saibot
Right?
is, like I said,
I
not
just
trustworthy.
Wait, is that Ed Boon alliteration?
Well,
or
his
whatever?
first name comes John Tobias and Ed Boon were the creators of Mortal Kombat. They took their names and reversed them to be Noob Saibot, the hidden character.
Their last names.
Yes.
Love it.
Noob backwards is Boon.
Mhm.
And Tobias is Saibot. Yeah, it's great to see this. So it's going to be a full fat experience for Switch players, which is awesome. Genre defining story mode returns with a brand new cinematic narrative featuring unexpected twists on classic rivalries and original backstories for a wide ranging cast of legendary fighters. Like I said, that's the reason I've been playing Mortal Kombat games, and they're continuing that here. This will also introduce cameo fighters, unique roster of partner characters to assist during matches, creating expanded gameplay possibilities. Reimaginations of Liu Kang, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Raiden, Kung Lao, Katana, Mileena, Shang Tsung, Johnny Cage, and many others. So I'm excited. Like I said, the trailer looks awesome. I think they've really done a great job at Mortal Kombat in recent years. So I'm down, and we got the Switch version. So very cool, very cool.
Stupid question here. Did the term noobs exist when that game came out and they did Noob Saibot, or is it just coincidental?
It's funny you asked that, because as I was saying it, I was wondering. I know the term wasn't around then, but
'Cause
where did it stem from other than
Because I
newbie?
feel like even though like they're doing their names backwards thing, I bet you if noob existed, they would not have gone with that name.
I know noob as a derogatory nickname was not around then, but I would imagine it didn't. I don't know where noob got its actual start. I'm gonna guess it didn't come
Like a
from Mortal
newbie.
Kombat, but
Yeah,
well,
I
I know it's
probably
from
got, like-
newbie, but like when did gamers start saying it?
Yeah.
That's the question.
When did we start becoming mean?
We're not doing that. Yeah,
When
right.
did they start pooning each other?
That's right. North America, what do we got? We got Lego 2K Drive, Convergence, a League of Legends stories, 911, Cannibal,
Oh.
Amaze, complete bundle, Appluval. You heard me right. Arcade Archives, Mazinger Z.
Manzinger sounds better.
Battle Kid, Fortress of Peril, Best Action Games 5-1, Best Mobile Games 5-1, Bio Prototype, Blackjack Waifu Tour, Bubble Monsters, Bunhouse, Burger Chef Tycoon Co-op Edition, Cyber Citizen Shockman,
Cyber
Dark Quest 3,
Dark Metamorphosis.
Death, Soul, and Robots,
That's a great Netflix show.
Despot's Game, Dig Deep Complete Edition, Dying Light Definitive Edition, and Call of Juarez Gunslinger.
That's a double game.
It's a bundle. Farming Simulator 23. Find the Pairs Classic Memory Puzzle. Ghost Pia Season 1. If you're into narrative adventures, check that out. Glitchbusters Stuck on You. Heartbeat Hospital Love, Lies, and Betrayal. Oh, MomBrain, that sounds up your alley. Hexapoda.
Sexy.
Japanese Escape Games The House. Cargast. Loud Rockstar Edition. Love on Leave. Magic Bubble Shooter Classic Bubbles Arcade. Max Reckoning, a criminal thief story with shooter and quest.
Wow.
Mechanic 8230, Escape from Egrot. or Ilgrot. Monster Menu, The Scavenger's Cookbook. Murtop, not Murtok. Nightmare Reaper. No One Lives Under the Lighthouse, award-winning game. Puzzle Bobble Everywhere, brand new Puzzle Bobble game with Bub and Bob.
Oh,
Rainbow Runner.
Zitz and Ray.
Toronto. Unalive 010. Undergrave. Warhammer 40,000 Bolt Gun. That's a brand new boomer shooter. Remember, boomer shooters are retro-looking first-person shooters, so they look like Duke Nukem or something like that. Winter's Wish, Spirits of Ado, and Woodland Hike. There you go. Would you mind doing the honors?
Not at all. Time for the European Switch eShop releases for the week of May 18th, the year of our Lord 2023. Dude Michael's here filling in for Nikki Hill. Nikki Hill, we speak your name. 911 Cannibal. 2021 Moon Escape. Uploval. Bell Boomerang. Bio Prototype. Blackjack Waifu Tour. Bubble Bird. Bubble Monsters. Bunhouse. Cyber Citizen Shuckman. Death, Souls, and Robots. Depot's Game. For a Vast Future. Japanese Escape Games, The House. Gargust. Love on Leave. Magic Bubble Shooter, Classic Bubbles Arcade. Murtop. Nightmare Reaper. No One Lives Under the Lighthouse. Rainbow Runner. Rubber Duck Wave Racer.
Ooh.
Secret Dimension. Sudoku. Casual Board Game. Trinity Trigger. Truck Climb Racing. Unalive 010. Undergrave. Under the Warehouse. Winter's Wish, Spirits of Edo. And World Championship Boxing Manager 2.
Thank you so much, Dew.
A pleasure.
I appreciate it. This one is a real shocker. Tears of the Kingdom launched worldwide. Tears of the Kingdom in Japan in its first week sold 2.2 million units physically.
Wow.
That is good enough for a top 10 finish for Tears of the Kingdom in all of Japan's gaming history. That is mind-boggling. That makes it the 7th biggest launch for any game in Japan ever. That's so mind-boggling because that's not what we see from the Legend of Zelda franchise. Japan has not been into Zelda in a very long time. It has its fans over there, but it's not a major seller. Breath of the Wild changed that, and the proof of that is Tears of the Kingdom. This puts it in the category of Pokemon, Dragon Quest, and Final Fantasy. This is so shocking. I cannot believe it. There's no other Zelda game in Japan's top 20 for gaming history. Not one entry. And now Tears of the Kingdom is in number 10, or in the top 10 with number 7. So number 10 is Pokemon XY, then Monster Hunter, then Dragon Quest, then Zelda, then another Dragon Quest, then a Final Fantasy, then another Pokemon, then Animal Crossing, Splatoon 3, and Pokemon. I can't believe it. I double and triple checked these numbers because this is shocking. I would have never thought this ever. And here we are.
That
Nintendo, I'm sure,
is shocking.
couldn't be happier about this. This is nuts. Lion K says, so there were basically only 6 games that filled up the Japanese launch top 20. Pokemon, Splatoon, Animal Crossing, Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, and Monster Hunter. But now there's Zelda. Yep. Now there's Zelda. I don't even know what to say. I'm sure Nintendo's surprised at that. Like, Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Pokemon. That's it for Japan.
So
if you want to break into the top history of sales in that country, that's what you got to be.
this is looking pretty good for this game. So they might make another Zelda game eventually, right? Because of the success here.
Pretty good.
This is
Pretty
awesome.
good,
This
yeah.
is really exciting.
There will. I'm sure there will be a spin-off. Here's my hope, my wish, my dream. I love Tears of the Kingdom. I love Breath of the Wild. I have no problem if this is the main direction for Zelda going forward. I do feel a pang of sadness about traditional top-down Zelda disappearing. in my dream, Nintendo would, in between this Zelda and the next Zelda, put out a spin-off Zelda that's a top-down, smaller, more classic, traditional Zelda game. I would love to see that. Will it happen? I don't know, because at this point they could be like, that might hurt the brand, so maybe we won't do that. They'll do more.
And they used to do like a DS, right? Would be for the top down.
They might do more out there spin-offs, like Hyrule Warriors and things like that. Things that are so far removed from Zelda that it doesn't count. Or they could do more, they might do Oracle of Ages and Seasons remake or something like that. That seems like the safer route to go. So
I have to say, I hope they don't attempt to like make the game, like the game worlds, like bigger and bigger, because like I feel you can only take that so far.
Yeah, I'm sure if anybody knows that it's Nintendo, they won't just be like bigger. It's the next way to go.
True.
So I'm sure the open aspect and the building components and all those things will be what they look at. I wouldn't worry about it, but I get the comments certainly. But man, I'm shocked. I'm so shocked that this happened. Good for them. It goes to show you the power of a brand and the power of innovation and the power, staying power of something. Like for the series to be around for 30 plus years and now have its greatest selling entry, and for Nintendo to see that with multiple franchises of theirs, like after they've made so many million selling hits and now get new high watermarks for those franchises, that's insanity. That's insanity. How many things do you know that have been around for decades that have gotten more popular as they go on? That's a rarity. That's not a thing that happens.
Comic books.
No, comic books aren't as popular as they used to be. Movies were, now they're on the downward slope, but I'm trying to think, like, I can't think of anything that has, obviously there are examples, and I'm sure Chad could come up with stuff, but things that have been around for so long that are only getting more popular in time. Like it'd be like Pokemon Go getting more popular now than when it was at launch. It is still certainly very popular, but for that game to surpass what it did at launch, that would be mind-boggling. Thank you, Kufu. Kufu says Micro Magic Fries. That's right, damn it. They're coming back. Bigger than ever. Big asses. That's true, I guess. People were really into big asses, and now it seems they're more into them than ever before. So there you go. Zelda and big asses.
It is your newest issue of gigantic asses.
There you go. That's the answer.
Yeah, Krusty was ahead of the curve. The curve.
You know what? The patriarchy says PC. I do not feel qualified to talk about that. I don't know that it's bigger than ever.
Is that because you're part of the patriarchy?
Yes. I wouldn't say it's bigger than ever.
Y'all are.
But
No.
Even if you're trying not to be.
what do you mean? I said I was. Yeah, but I'm saying
It's true.
I don't know that I'd say
Kirby
it's,
made a comment like it was.
I wouldn't say it's bigger than ever. I would say it's I'd say its day in the sun
It's
is
louder
than ever. The discussions around it are certainly bigger than ever. How about that? You know what? I'll just say this really quick. So Nintendo with Smash Brothers back in the game, or back in the Wii days.
I like Pass Brothers better. No, never mind. That was stupid. Thanks though.
They
Smash Brothers.
They wanted a new Smash Brothers game for the Wii, but they weren't sure Sakurai was going to do it because Sakurai was freelance. They had to approach him and be like, "Hey, want to do a new Smash Brothers?" And he said yes, but he might have said no. And Sakurai has revealed what Nintendo was going to do if he said no. Sakurai said if he said, "Nah, I don't want to do a new Smash Brothers," Nintendo didn't want to make one on their own because Sakurai is the heart of Smash Brothers. So they were going to do a port of Melee to the Wii. Melee, obviously beloved by many Smash Brothers fans. So I'm sure a port to the Wii would have been very popular. But thankfully, instead of a port, we got a brand new Smash. So there you go.
I love that Nintendo is just like, if he said no, they'd be like, all right, we'll just leave all these millions on the table. Fine. It's the right thing to do. But like, Konami or whatever is just like, get what's his name out of here. We're going to make a Metal Gear that stinks. Get him out of here. Call Kiefer Sutherland. Fire the other guy.
Well,
and it's like, what? Like, why would you do? Like, now the franchise is dead, and the golden goose that you treated so poorly is making successful games that he wants to make. So, I mean, I guess it worked out for us gamers, but like, it looks ugly, right?
It's a difference in a company that's run by the business people versus a company that has business people in charge of the money things and artists in charge of the creative things. You don't let your business people steer the ship. You let your creatives steer the ship, and then you figure out how to make that work monetarily. Obviously, something like a Metroid franchise, it can still sell millions, but it's not going to be your big moneymaker. That's why you space out the Metroid games. They still get made because the passion, interest, and ideas are there. But just because they don't sell millions upon millions, it's not like, well, we're not doing those anymore. The business people shouldn't tell the creative people what to do. That's what it is. So Nintendo wanted another Smash. When the guy that makes Smash, if he said, I don't want to do it, then they would have been like, well, then I guess we're not going to take that. And maybe they would have taken a few years to find somebody else who could have done it and work with them in some way. But their first idea was, well, then we're not going to do a new one. So bravo to them. Again, Nintendo is an outlier in the industry. There are other companies that certainly act like that. But I think we can all agree when it comes to how business is handled and the content that's created, Nintendo's different. They're not like Ubisoft. They're not like EA. They're not like Sony. That's not what they're like. Mr. Coy says that would be baffling considering that the Wii could already play Melee and Smash Brothers is one of the franchises that would benefit the least from the new play control treatment. Yeah, you could pop in your GameCube disc into your Wii. That's very true. But again, that's an alternate timeline somewhere out there where people got Melee on the Wii. We got Brawl.
Melee.
So there you go. That's your top stories, people. MomBrain, what have you been playing?
Penny and Flo and Merge Mansion.
How's it going?
Great.
Anything to add or?
Hopeberry Festival is going on right now in the mansion. So far so good.
Kirby, you play anything besides Zelda?
Besides Zelda, no.
Okay. Do anything besides Zelda?
No, sir.
Okay.
RMC, anything besides Zelda?
I played some Fortnite. Yes, I played Fortnite with family. We had fun. Good times.
That
Fortnite's still
game
fun.
sounds familiar. Fortnite, it's called?
Yes, every night, especially last night, I almost sent a text about, do you guys want to play Fortnite? Because, we use it as a way to talk to each other. And I feel like we got a lot to catch up on. Like we could have talked about Zelda while playing Fortnite, but I dare not breach that subject.
Not tell you.
It's too early. I'll give it at least a month before I say something. I am playing chicken in this case, but
That's okay. I'm fine with
I know you don't want to play Fortnite. So.
I know that Adam's going to reach out when he's had his fill.
He will
and
break.
He's going to want to play Fortnite,
be the first to break.
and I will be there for you guys.
Yeah, I like playing because we talk to each other and it's fun. But yes, I mean, obviously, when I'm playing Fortnite, I'm also like, can't wait to play Zelda. So I get it.
The other night I woke up to pee and I heard you playing and I was like, when was the last time I heard him playing Fortnite?
That's all. Zelda's only been out a week.
It just was weird because but it used to be every single night.
Yeah.
So it was like a funny
Back
thing.
to old times. We'll get there.
Also, in other news, there are ducks that have been hanging out in the backyard. And this morning they were quacking so loud they woke me up.
Okay.
Yesterday morning, Piper was in the
Oh,
window
duck hunt.
and
Whap.
they were not quacking, but she was looking at them. And then this morning they quacked and woke me up and I looked at her and she was in her little bed and she looked at me and I was like, you're the one that's supposed to be making sure everybody's behave out
You
there.
hunt these things.
Yeah.
Does anybody have anything else about Zelda they want to say? I know we talked a ton about it earlier, but
Oh,
figured
well,
I'd give the opportunity.
I was talking about like
Rocks?
Yeah, I wanted to talk more about rocks. No, but earlier I mentioned how I have, I do like, some like dumb things that I started doing in Breath of the Wild, and one of those things that I'm still doing for some reason is like talking to the same characters like too many times. Like I don't know why. Like I'm expecting their responses to change, and they usually don't. So yeah, I don't know why, but yeah, I've been wasting a lot of time doing that.
Just like random characters you find, like NPCs in towns or stuff?
Yeah, like the like I keep talking to well, I've stopped doing it, but I keep talking to Pura for some reason. Like every time I'm
Yeah.
I think we know why.
maybe that's why. But yeah, I keep talking to her and getting the same response because I'm not currently like doing a side mission or anything.
Yeah. What's the guy's name? The little guy with the goggles.
Robbie, Dr. Robbie.
Every time I talk to him, he's telling me the same thing because I haven't done what he wants me to do yet.
Yeah,
too.
Dr.
But,
Robbie and
in the random
Josh,
time I go to Lookout, whatever it is, Lookout Landing, and I'm there. I'm like, I might as well just check in because I'm like, hey, I haven't been here in 60 hours. Let me just say hi while I'm here. But he's got the same stuff to say.
Yeah, I just gotta, if I need to talk to somebody, I just gotta look for that little red, whatever,
Right.
just
The
a little
exclamation
quest
point.
marker thing.
I talk to people a lot too. Like I'll always talk to people the first time I see them, and then, like you said, sometimes they change up what they said even after like just an arbitrary
but
click.
I think not as often as I'm like expecting them to. I think that's the problem.
I still do an extra round, like an extra click, just to make sure they spit out everything.
Yeah.
Hi, Tentavision. I've heard good things about Backpack Hero Tentavision. I want to check that out. Kufu, I think we know what Josh has been playing. So, Josh, if you want to, go ahead.
Call of Duty, bro.
Call of Duty, bro.
Did you know you can play Tetris for free on Tetris.com?
You can. I'm trying to.
That was a really great story.
I've done a lot of great shrines. I don't want to spoil them. A lot of great vehicle shrines. Just, man, do I love getting on vehicles and plowing over constructs. It's great. Like I had one with 2 cannons.
Oh,
and
did
one
you
of
do
the
the one?
head-mounted cannon with the thing that looks at enemies, and I put a cannon on top of that. So I had 2 cannons in the front that just shot the whole time. I had the head-mounted cannon in the back that looks at them as I drive by them, and then I had a flame shooter on either side, and I'm just driving around taking out everybody. It was amazing. It was so much fun.
That reminded me. The other day, I had to go to the grocery store, and I had like a tough day at school, and then like multiple minor inconveniences, and the culmination was that my ShopRite from home order was not complete, and they weren't going to be able to fix it for me. So I had to go into ShopRite after I had already gone to pick up my order, and I spent the whole time in ShopRite thinking about how good it would feel if I full speed ran into a bunch of people with my cart.
They didn't do anything.
I know. And I talked about it in therapy. So, we don't have to worry about me, but that reminded me, like, I mean, that would have it would feel so good to just nail somebody.
You need to start playing Tears of the Kingdom immediately. I think. So then you can do that and get those angers
Run
out.
over some bokoblins and stuff. Yeah.
It just,
No, this scares me. I would like to not hear this anymore. You're going to do it one day. It's going to be a bad day. You're going to have a bad moment. There's going to be somebody in front of you that just doesn't move quick enough, and they're going to get run down.
Well, look, raw meat. These are the kind of experiences people have when they go outside.
That's why you don't go.
That's why you don't go
get
outside.
your micro magic. You go stare at a mountain and you eat it. That's what you go outside for.
Mhm.
Kirby, you were going to say something about Zelda, I think.
Was I?
I thought so.
Oh, I was. Well, this might be kind of. I was going to ask you if you've done the shrine where they you have to like fight all these constructs, but they take away your equipment at the beginning.
I've done a few like that. Yeah.
Oh, there's okay. Never
Yeah.
mind then.
I've done one in the dark where they took away all my equipment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
You have a few where they take away equipment.
But did you do the one where there's like that giant like cart with like spikes and cannons on it, like but you have to it's got like a wall around it, so you can only get to it if you use like a wing.
Oh, it's got like a cage that you can lower around it.
Well, I don't even know if you can lower it. I had to like find a wing and just like glide over the top of the
where the
of
car
wall.
is. Were there like little circles on the ground around it that had like all Zonai stuff on them that you could add to it? Because that's what there was one where it was in the center of a map. It was a cage. And it had a big vehicle in it, but there were other vehicles around it I could do. And
this was actually in a shrine.
Yeah, this was a shrine.
Wow. Wait.
This was 100% a shrine.
I don't think
so
I've ever
many
even like looked at a
shrines.
map while in a shrine.
No, I didn't look at the map either. But
You said it was in the middle of the map.
well, in the middle of the shrine, like it's a huge,
Okay.
like it's a big open shrine. It's like humongous, and in the center is a cage with a vehicle in it.
Yeah.
And
And it's really like badass.
if you there's a button on the floor, so I dragged the vehicle onto the button to open up the cage, and I went in and took that thing and drove it all around the map.
No, I had to like glide over the top of the wall.
Yeah, I haven't
because
done
the
that.
button was like inside the cage.
This is amazing. I've
But-
done so many shrines, and I haven't done either of
Wow,
these shrines that you
really?
guys are talking about.
And the
Yeah,
whole
this is
reason I was
cool.
going to bring it up is because I didn't even find that vehicle until after I'd like beaten all the constructs anyway. I was like, oh, I could have used this to just like drive over them.
I
and
did
blast
one
them.
like that where I had the same thing. I beat them all a different way, and then I realized I could have gotten something better, and I was like, oh, I kind of want to do it again, but I didn't.
Anyway.
Anything you want to say, Do, or you're good? We got it out of our system.
It's also great. I'm gonna put some more in my system when I get home later. But yeah, it's all out for now.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. There's so much to do. There's no matter how much time I put in with it, it's not enough time. It's not enough, and I've done nothing. But I've done so much. I'm going on a treasure hunt tonight. I can't wait. So excited to see what I find. I got X's on my map. I want to see what's there. I'm excited. We got questions, MomBrain. Send your questions to goninpod@gmail.com. goninpod@gmail.com. They can be about Nintendo video games in general or whatever the hell you want. PT says, do you have any impression of a person or thing that you do really well? Conversely, do you have an impression that is bad, but people find it funny anyway?
Don't we have a friend who does a really bad impression of someone, but they don't know it's bad?
What if they're
Ooh,
here?
What is it?
No.
What if it's me?
Yeah, right. I got nothing.
I don't know.
Is it like somebody's dad?
Mm.
MomBrain, think on this. We'll come. Oh, she got it, and she can't say it.
I probably could.
Well, then you probably should.
Doesn't Blum do a?
Oh yeah, he does that Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
But he knows.
Yeah,
he knows
Oh, he
he's
knows
bad.
it's bad.
Yeah.
I think it's intentionally bad.
Yeah, it doesn't. One friend does impressions of
Hey,
celebrities,
Ma.
and they're always horrible, but he knows they're horrible. So.
All right.
What's the deal?
Yeah, I don't know that we
What's
have any
tomorrow?
go-to impressions. Any of us? I've heard Kirby do Sean Connery a bunch of times, but
Yeah, and I for some reason I like lost whatever magic was there. I
Yeah,
lost.
you-
I can't do it
He
anymore.
had a really great Scottish accent back in the day.
yeah, I can't think of any impressions that we go to all the time. We just mimic soundboards and things we
I
hear
don't
all the
have
time.
impression. I just like say, I'll be like, one more question, like Columbo and stuff. But it's not an
Yes.
impression of him. It's just
Yes.
one line that he does, and it's
We
not
quote
great.
poorly all the time, but we don't do
But,
impressions. Yeah.
Not even close.
Mm-hmm.
Not even close.
Yeah, we do
You
that.
can
all the
almost
time.
get that one close, but
We
just
do,
that one line.
Snake.
There we go.
Colonel, I really need that cake, that kind of stuff. Yeah, we don't really do any impressions, just quote things like parrots all the time. We also have a Patreon question.
I did do that one Sonic. We must defeat the egg that you have on your phone.
All right, you brought it up. I'm playing
I
it.
forgot all about that.
This clip is one of my favorite clips ever. It's some random Sonic animation that was on the internet. And in the clip, you will hear the original animation quote followed by MomBrain doing the quote. And it's great. That's why I've had it for years.
It made you so happy.
Still does. I mean, it's going to take me forever to find it. Oh, no, I found it. This is from January 12th, 2018. So again, you will hear the animation and then MomBrain. It's amazing.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I should
I
just
can't
send
even
it to
tell
the
'em apart.
Discord.
Man.
Yeah, yep. I mean, and I'm like, thank you.
Bravo.
And I think I'm like just like slouched in a chair. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Like it's
You very
like a
much
rough
don't
day.
wanna be there,
Yeah, yeah.
That's why it's even better.
Mhm.
We also have a Patreon question,
Oh.
MomBrain.
Mhm.
Did you know you could join the Patreon
For $1.
for $1? Freddie Fro did. They paid $1. Thank you, Freddie Fro. What's something you lost and never found but still think about? Great question.
I know.
Great question.
I think it might have been stolen, but
It's a you thing?
yep. when I was in college. It was when the original
Virginity.
I lost it, and I guess I never found it again. Yeah.
That's right.
But that's a story for another time.
That's a story on the high seas.
So for Christmas, the year that the original iPod came out, my dad wanted to buy me an MP3 player, or maybe I wanted one, and he did a lot of research, and it was between the original iPod and some other MP3 player, and he didn't pick the iPod because he thought the other one was way better. And I'm pretty sure that when I was moving out of my dorm, it got stolen, but I wish I still had it because it looked like I'll never know what happened to it. And it looked like a Discman, but it was all, probably held like, I don't know, 10 MP3s or something like that.
Yeah, I
But
remember.
yeah. I wish, the best I can figure is somebody stole it, but I wish I knew exactly what happened to it.
Tenth Vision says my Pac-Man GBA game is the first game I ever owned. It was packed in with my GBA. And Tom says a copy of Tetris 3DS. I think someone at work stole it. I'm not bitter. No sirree. I know I've had things that I lost. I can't think of anything like right now where I'm like
Micro Magic Fries.
Yeah, but I still think about them all the time. It's not something I physically lost. I think it fits. Do you know where I'm going?
There's 2 sound bites I'm thinking of.
You probably got them both, yeah.
Is one about a food and one about illicit substances?
Tell me the food one.
Is it about a pie?
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, yeah. I don't really care about that one. So one is there's a song that has been stuck in my head, and I can't hear the lyrics correctly, but I can hear the song. And I even went on Reddit to try and find the song. Like I put it in tip of my tongue or whatever, and nobody could hunt it down. It's a song that sounds like, bah, 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 and then the chorus has somebody going, it sounds like in my brain, hard force drugs. And I don't know why they're saying that because that doesn't make any sense, but it's driven me nuts for
How does
years
that part
now.
sound?
Have a little hot force drugs. I'm gonna have a little hot force drugs. Like that.
Hot cross buns?
Hot cross buns. And then the other thing is an episode of $10,000 Pyramid
Oh yeah.
that I cried from
Oh,
laughing
yes.
at. And I did have it. I had it on a DVR, but that was decades ago, and it is lost forever.
That's so funny.
It's the topic, or it was a winner's circle. It was the winner's circle portion of the game, so it's the final pyramid part. And I can remember what the celebrity looks like, but I don't remember his name. But the answer was contraband things, and he was looking at the contestant, and in like a very like I don't know how to describe it. He was saying like drugs, whiskey, alcohol thing, and it just the way he was
the
saying
answer
it,
was contraband.
yeah. The way he was saying it made me cry from laughing. I loved it. And I've tried to find it again, and I can't. I went to a $10,000 Pyramid fan site that chronicled every single episode, who the celebrities were and who the winners were. And I got that far, but I can't find the actual clip.
Amazing that
I
you can't
cannot
find
find it. I've even seen it again, or I've even seen that celebrity again on Pyramid on reruns and Game Show Network, but it wasn't that episode.
PC, I don't think that's lost. She says the guy in the red tracksuit, but
The
that's
guy in
not
the red
lost.
tracksuit from
we lost
find
him, but
that
then we
once
found
in
him
a while.
again.
we found him thanks to PC. Yeah, the guy in the red tracksuit.
that's
It's
so great.
definitely a lock now. PC, I made you a promise last time because you have the YouTube magic for that. Whenever you find that clip, I'm so thankful. I said this time I'm downloading it, and just to prove at the table, it is downloaded, forever saved to my phone. The guy,
That is amazing.
it will be here forever now. It will not get lost.
We laughed so hard at that to the point that I remember we like analyzed it and made up like a backstory
Yeah,
of like
yeah.
why, like this is hilarious and this is why, because we knew this guy, and it's just like a 5-second
Guys,
clip.
if you're
AFV from the like
I just
from
realized
the reel at the end while they're like tabulating the results.
I just realized I'm in Discord. I can send you the YouTube link of the video. It's a little
Nice.
quick clip on America's Funniest Videos of this guy in a red jumpsuit who's going to exercise. I don't know why he's climbing over a table, but he decides to do it, and it's a terrible
I
idea.
just remember we were like, it's his first day out exercising. He's so excited to do it. He just bought that. Yeah, like we had this whole backstory, and it made it so much funnier too, because like, man, he was really raring to go.
It's so good. It's so good. So yeah, mine aren't like physical things that I can think of. If there are physical things that I've lost, I've forgotten that they're gone. I'm sure at some point there are things where I was like, oh, I can't believe that's gone. But goodbye, PC. Thanks for hanging out.
I had as a kid. Well, I'll let everybody. If I don't want to take double turns, I'll wait.
No, you can go. You can go.
Do you guys have stuff?
I got one. It's not a big deal.
Go right ahead.
When we're
Don't forget your thing.
My dad, I think, threw out a bunch of my stuff when we were moving out when they sold their old house and moved down to Florida. And there was this big bag. I'm guessing it got thrown out, but there was a big bag full of all these shirts that I absolutely loved. I loved t-shirts, like weird t-shirts. And I lost like 4 big t-shirts I can think of off the top of my head. I lost this Yanni World Tour shirt that I thought was so funny. Like this was before like anyone was being ironic. I was the first one to ever be ironic. So it was very funny when I wore it. Like, and then like I had this like purple shirt with these 2 cherub painting baby, like Renaissance cherubs on it. And it said Raffaello. And I don't know if that was like the artist Raphael and like he was really Raffaello. I don't know, but it was a great shirt. There was a Miller Genuine Draft t-shirt with people playing bid whist on it, and the artwork is amazing. There's speech bubbles and they're like yelling set time and bid whist and all these like I guess rules of the game. I know nothing about it and I don't drink Miller Genuine Draft, but that's a shirt that I wish I could still see today. And last but not least, I hate guns, and I was never, but like as a kid, like I loved guns, like not real guns, obviously, but like I just, holy cow, that's close. That's
I know it's not exactly but it's close.
It's close as you can get. Actually,
it's on eBay right now.
It makes me wonder, like if they had different like artists doing it, because it's the same, like it's the same setup, but it's not the same artwork. You know what I mean? Like, anyways. But yeah, and then I had this Heckler and Koch pistol shirt, had a Glock on it. It was the coolest freaking shirt I've ever seen in my life. I was like 6. I don't know where that shirt went, but man, did I love it. Like I was that kid that would get like a toy gun and like I had to like tape up anything that didn't look real, you know, like the orange tip. Like I want it to look real, you know, and I don't know. I was like really obsessed with like guns and karate kicks. I don't know. I don't know why it was. Like I had GI Joes. I lost all their weapons, you know. So like they'd just have to like fight.
Gotta fight with what they got.
They never ever punched. Never punched. They all knew how to karate kick, and it was on the bookshelf, and they'd get karate kicked off the edge of the. It's great.
I think that's a tattoo. Guns and karate kicks for you. Like that's definitely
doesn't get much more American than that.
I remember bid whist a lot. Can you describe the Yanni shirt for me?
The Yanni shirt was really, really basic because there's definitely really good ones out there. Mine, just with the thinnest letters you could ever see, said Yanni. It was like a lime yellow color, if that's even a color. And so it was really ugly. And then it just said World Tour, also thin letters underneath, but smaller letters. There, no picture of Yanni or anything.
Because there's a lot of amazing ones with.
My mom had a Yanni Live at the Acropolis shirt back in the day.
It's not quite like that, but similar. If that shirt was like lime yellow, that would be really close.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about that?
Is that the font?
That's the font. It didn't have that like swirl. It looks like he signed it. It didn't have the signature. It did have that font, and then it said World Tour underneath. But yeah, they were good.
George, do you know anything about this lime yellow shirt?
No more questions, please.
I'm trying to make my shirt lime yellow with all these limes right now. I've been holding them close for years. Not working.
MomBrain.
All right. So
Kirby, do you have one or no?
I can't think of anything.
Okay, MomBrain.
When I was a little kid, apparently, as legend has it, my father heard advertisements for it or on Howard Stern, or like heard Howard Stern talking about it, or how to get, I don't know. but there was a system called Teachin' Teddy, and it was VHS tapes that you watched, and then you had this console that plugged in, I guess, to your VCR or your TV. And
I remember
it had
this
like
thing. I definitely remember this.
buttons for like yes and no, but they were also like could be other things. And you would interact with the VHS tape. And I flipping loved it. And Teachin' Teddy was like a puppet, I think. And I wish I still had it because I would love to watch them and just like remember some of the stuff. It was really cool.
You
It's
don't
like a
think,
choose your own adventure, not choose your own adventure, but like you choose the answer.
Yeah, on
And
your little
interact.
console,
Oh,
and it
cool.
would be like correct.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
pretty advanced.
You don't think those videos are on YouTube?
They
I'm
might
sure
be.
they are.
They might be.
Well,
It was very cool.
hopefully one of us finds the things we've been looking for.
And there was like the song I can remember. Like, like I can. I'm gonna have to look it up. It was great.
Sorry, I'm looking it up right now. Teaching.
I had I just thought of another one. This one's pretty recent actually. I had
All the videos are on YouTube.
No
this
way.
bookmark. This is so silly. I had this bookmark that I loved. It was like a regular shaped bookmark, like the long thin one, and it had 4 little pictures going down of it. Of a monkey, a chimp, a duck, a dog, and a pig, and they each had a cigarette in their mouth, like a lit cigarette in their mouth. And at the bottom, it said, "It looks just as stupid when you do it."
Oh yeah.
And it was like an
Oh.
anti-smoking ad.
Absolutely.
And I actually loved that bookmark so much that I brought it to like a Staples and had them laminate it. Like I paid them
Wow.
to laminate this bookmark, and I love this thing. And moved to
You get it on a
California,
shirt?
brought it with me. That's exactly it. It's the same campaign, but
Yeah,
we didn't have
yeah.
the deer. But like, yeah, and trust me, I've looked for this bookmark all over the internet too. I can't find it. But yeah, and then I went to California and I had it in a book out there, and I didn't read too many books out there, but I read some, and like I used it. And then like my last 2 years in California, I couldn't find it. I don't know where it went. I never lent the books to anybody. No one would ever go in there and take a bookmark. So I had no idea where this bookmark went, and it's silly because it's a bookmark, but boy,
No, but
Did
they're-
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry it left you one day. Hopefully it went to somebody else who needed the message. They needed to see it.
I'm teaching Teddy again.
I started
I'm teaching Teddy, and your kids will find me in Video Smarts.
Find the space with the letter B.
Right. That kid's great. With your TV, a Video Smarts Talking Kids computer, and Video Smarts VHS cassettes, learning is fun. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. The longer your kids play
Wow,
with
that's
the
pretty
Video
cool,
Smarts
actually.
learning system, the better they learn. Gee, Bobby,
Is he Teddy, that like rat or something?
Yeah.
There you go. Teaching Teddy. Oh, my mom just sent me the same commercial. That's really funny.
That's crazy.
My mom's looking out for you. Mom, I had looked it up on my own. But thank you. All right. Let's do some music, MomBrain. Please. Send your music to goninpod@gmail.com.
What was that? Music?
goninpod@gmail.com. Please put music in the title to help out MomBrain.
Wow.
Maybe I will.
Oh my God, I'm going to pee myself. I got music. You want to hear it? You want to hear it? Oh. Oh, I got to pee so bad.
So go.
No,
Maybe.
we're so close to the end of the show.
Go
right.
in here.
Oh,
It filters it.
you're right.
Trying to get the Soda Stream back up and running. This one comes from Nintendo.
I'm sorry, I'm disqualified. I saw it by mistake.
This is 64.
Yeah.
Is it a game? Would you have known this if you didn't look? Do you think? Like, would
Probably not.
Is it a racing game?
No.
It's a train game.
No.
It's a licensed game.
No.
It's a game where it's a highway.
No.
Are you in a city?
I mean,
Pilot Wings? It's not like a flying game?
It's not a flying game.
Sounds really bad for first party. It's not
It's
first
first
party.
party.
It is?
Yep.
Mario Party?
No.
Pokemon.
Mm-mm.
It's got a feel to it that I can't place and it's driving me nuts.
Yeah, that's what gets it. That's what gets me.
All right, its first party is N64.
It's
So,
like- it's
oh,
like
is
so
it? Is
bad,
it?
but it's really
did
good.
he? Did he?
No.
Oh, you said it's not racing.
It's not racing.
Wow.
Tetris.
No.
Dr. Mario.
No.
It's not Kirby.
Uh-uh.
It's not Yoshi.
Uh-uh.
It's not Metroid.
Uh-uh.
It's not Fire Emblem.
It's
It's
not.
not Mario. It's
It
not
is Mario.
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 Mario Kart.
No.
Mario Paper Mario.
Paper Mario.
That's in the
Beautifully
original
done.
Paper Mario. Wow, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good enough to be in a Mario game, does
right?
This one.
Boy, oh boy.
This one comes from Rosemary the Farmer.
I don't know. I don't even know what system.
Switch.
Got a nice sound. I like it.
Rosemary says it got her and Freddie Fro right in the feels.
Oh.
It's not first party.
No.
Something about the note progression. I know it's not bonk, but there's a portion that makes me think bonk. That's all I got.
Stardew Valley.
Nope.
I don't know. I got no clue.
It is Lil Gator Game
Oh, I know that game. I haven't played it though.
from Rosemary the Farmer.
Little Gator.
Little Gator game. It sounds like a rapper.
This one comes from Mikey3319.
Little Gigi. Crazy Taxi.
Oh, I know this. It's Sony Hawk Pro Skater.
It is.
This is Goldfinger.
Same thing.
Stop it. We're going to get claimed.
They got a Superman.
All right. And our last song for the week comes to us from Freddie Fro.
Twilight Princess.
No,
I know this.
you do.
Skyward Sword.
No.
Why do I know this?
You played it. So did he.
I definitely played it.
What system?
Switch.
Is it Death's Door?
It's not.
Ooh, that was a good guess. Hades.
No.
I played it. I feel like I played it recently.
I definitely played it recently.
Is it Tunic?
It's not.
Ooh, that was a good guess too.
Nikki Hill also played it.
This is driving me crazy. I love
Yeah.
this song so much. I played a bunch of whatever this is.
Why can't we get this? And I remember thinking this song was like something else.
Is it like Steamroll Dig or
Nope.
Ori?
Nope.
Metroid Dread?
Nope.
First party?
No.
Okay, just want to clear that up. What is this,
What have
dude?
played?
We can't
What have
we can't
played the same.
give up on it.
because I don't play that much. So what would I have played?
This is going to drive me absolutely insane. Oh, it's Inscription.
It is.
Beautiful.
There we
goodness.
go. I was like, that guitar got me there. I was
Why
like,
did
where am I?
I hate that I didn't get that myself because I played so much of that.
We got there.
Whew.
Great job, guys.
Man, that was rough.
6 out of 9.
6 out of 9, baby. We did it. Dude, you got anything for us? here or
Who,
no?
baby? Do I? Of course I do. Views. It's never
Oh.
news. Rumor of the week, starring Deux Michaels. Ladies and gentlemen, we do rumors every week because I am a magnet for rumors. I got feelers all over the gaming industry, and they feed me. Seymour, they feed me. So I got a rumor this week. Actually, this time we're doing something a little different this week. It's not a rumor. This one's true. Usually they're rumors. Yeah, this is incredible. So it looks like things have come to light, and Nintendo got big, not off of Love Hotels, but off of Micro Magic French fries. In fact, they are the ones who developed these French fries in that bag that cooks them real nice, as if it was an oven. And then they moved on to Nintendo's.
Wow.
This is the first time I'm going to question your information. We had a whole talk about how they're cooked in a box. And you
Did I
said-
not say box?
You said bag.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I meant to say box.
It must have been in the translation because
That's
it was
probably
news from
Japanese.
Japan.
You're right. I take it
Probably.
back. I take it
Yep.
Mhm. But don't worry, my Japanese translator will be fired, and I will
That's
find somebody
Definitely
else.
not a rumor.
Well, no wonder I found those fries to be so magical. It's because one of my favorite companies made them. So
Exactly.
the more you know.
They never miss. Not even
Well,
back then.
thank you, Deux. We will continue the Micro Magic talk in the after show, but for today's show, we're done. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Does anybody else have a food they ate when they were a child that they loved and perhaps isn't around anymore?
Chocolate Cool Whip.
That's got to be around.
Oh, did anyone have Mr. Phibbs pretzel chips?
Yeah, they
They were-
were great.
They were, right?
Yes.
No.
And yeah, they're not the same as those like pretzel crisps you can get today.
You know the MomBrain's mom pretzels, PB.
Huh?
The ones you call my mom's pretzels.
The
Oh,
kinda-
yes. Okay,
They're-
I got you.
It's like those, but Mr. Phibbs were better.
I guess chocolate Cool Whip
Like-
isn't around anymore. There's a whole bunch of people making them.
Starfish.
And there's companies that do knockoff Cool Whip that's chocolate, but no official Cool Whip chocolate. I didn't dislike Cool Whip, but I didn't really appreciate it until these last couple of years because it's 2 tablespoons for 25 calories. That's not a lot. That's not a lot.
It's not a lot.
It's a meal in itself.
Malakayla says cheeseburger flavored potato chips. And Highland Tom asks, do they still make Fruitopia drinks? They don't,
Fruitopia.
right?
I think I
Sounds
remember
familiar.
reading like somewhat recently that they're not around anymore.
Fruitopia. I remember Fruitopia, but
They were like it was like a 90s brand.
well, there's an article. Do they still make Fruitopia? No, they ended in 2003. I'm so sorry.
20 years ago. Wow.
Some flavors lived on in other Minute Maid products, though. Raspberry lemonade. So I guess Minute Maid's raspberry lemonade flavor is the same flavor that Fruitopia's was, at least one of the Fruitopias. So if you like a little taste of the past, you could go that route. But as far as Fruitopia brand, it's over.
Oh, and there were those pizza flavored chips that Keebler made.
Oh, I remember them.
yeah,
Yep,
right?
I
Those were pretty
remember. Nikki Hill had them a lot. I remember.
Nice.
You know what I miss? Sobe. I know Sobe's still around, but not the Sobe I liked. Like Sobe Power Holy crap! That was my favorite drink by far. I loved Sobe Power. I used
Was
to
that
get
a
that all
was that
the
a
time.
tea or
They're all. I guess it was maybe it was a juice.
that one
I don't
red?
know. It was red. Yes, it was the
Okay.
red one. Oh my god, I loved Power so much. I also love Snapple Rain, and I know they brought Rain back, but it doesn't taste the same. Oh
Man,
yeah? Oh, that the same thing happened when they brought back Planters cheese balls.
I
Like
haven't had the new ones. Not as good.
that's what everyone's saying. It's I don't know. I didn't taste that much of a difference, but it also could just be I don't remember what the old ones even tasted like.
Ratsuza says I can't find this anymore. Jamaica ginger cake. It looks nice. It looks real nice. I'd like to eat that. Highland Tom says I'm a Mango Madness guy from Snapple. I miss the Snapple lady. Yeah, bring the Snapple lady back, right? Like nobody ever got tired
Did
of the
she die
Snapple
or
lady.
something?
No, she's still around.
They
And like
sexualized her or something, and she started. Oh wait, no, that was literally any other woman ever.
yeah,
No,
right. They what Snapple got for commercials now? Nothing is bring the
even tell
Snapple
you.
lady back.
Bring her back.
Well, they don't really do commercials.
and bring back
anymore.
that weird clear root beer you had.
That's true. You don't really see too many Snapple commercials anymore. I guess they don't need to advertise. It just does the advertising itself. It's so cemented as like a tea now. If somebody's like, name a flavored tea, you'd probably say Snapple or what else are you gonna say?
Arizona.
Arizona,
They're
yeah,
the only
that's true.
two.
Do love Arizona.
Nestea, Brisk.
Yeah, you kick those people out of your house.
Yeah,
Brisk.
that's Brisk, baby.
Oh yeah, I think it.
My parents? No, that's wrong. I don't
Yeah.
know who you think my family is.
My-
That is a zero. We were an Arizona family.
I
My
remember.
family was big into Brisk.
I remember drinking a lot of Brisk as a kid, and that stuff is like disgusting.
It's not good.
No,
Brisk
it's like not good
when
at all.
you
it might have
swallow
been
Brisk,
the commercials.
It tastes
that,
a
like,
little.
suckered
You
me
get
in.
like a burning or a scratching.
Yeah,
feel, and
like
I
tea isn't
don't
supposed
like
to
it.
do that.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
why we were in Arizona house because Arizona's good.
I think I read somewhere that like the reason Arizona was able to keep their prices low for so long is they really don't do any advertising.
Yeah, I can't think of any really.
Like not since like the probably not since they first came out in the 90s.
And I read the reason they stopped making briskets because it burned too many people's throats when they were drinking it.
Because it tasted like garbage.
Now, they had great commercials though.
I had
Yeah, exactly.
a friend, a local friend who had only ever had brisk at his house. And every time I went over, he's like, "You thirsty? You want a brisk?" And I'd be like, "I guess." And I'd drink it. And every time I'd be like, "This tastes like I'm not supposed to be drinking it." I can still feel that feeling that. Yeah, it's brisk, baby.
The brisk burn.
Brisk was code for poison. All right, everybody. That's what we got. If you spent time with us today live, thanks. Now go play Zelda.
Oh, Keebler Pizzerias. That's what they're
Yep,
called.
I remember the white bag, right?
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hang out with friends and family. Play some games. Rest, relax. You deserve it. And we'll be back next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. And
Oh, yeah. And